And good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. This is, of course, the University Alliance Cup featuring Wild Rift. This is the Promotionals. We've reached the tail end of our season, and we'll be your shoutcasters for today. I'm Hiron. With me is Rebenga, and we were supposed to have FUA Apex Tamaraws versus West Visayas State University VS Esports earlier, but it seems that FEU had to forfeit that. So we're going to give you MCL Malayan Warlocks versus PUP Pylon Esports. Kamusta, Reps?
Yo, long time no see. We're back and
Mm-hmm.
promotionals ngayon, very important matches. So kahit tapos na yung UAC, it's still the teams that are here, syempre gusto nila makapasok, either makabalik or makapasok to the Division A for another chance, di ba?
And I think pagkatapos ng promotionals in the very first season, like with UAC Wild Rift, that's really where we see na nag-stabilize yung power levels of teams, right? Because with Division A, teams were chosen based on their performance in maybe like the non-UAC, not really pro league or even semi-pro league levels of Wild Rift, as well as yung prestige ng kanilang alliance organization. So once we get into season 2 after the promotions, doon na natin na makikita kung sino talaga yung first roster ng mga teams natin from our school. So here, we do see na Haribons from PLM tsaka yung LG Loyal Gaming. Haribons got in. Meanwhile, LG kept their spot. And of course, VS Esports from West Visayas, of course, because Apex Samaros had to forfeit, they will be taking that spot, or they will be getting that spot. Meanwhile, Warlocks will have to defend their spot against Pylon Esports from PUP. And this is a very, very exciting series for us today.
Yes, kumbaga ano lang pala, we're just getting started and wala nang paligoy-ligoy guys, and we're into champion select between the Warlocks versus Pylon Esports. So I think this would be a Division A versus a potential Division A team here.
Yeah, I mean Division B teams, you can't really count them out here, no? Kasi they're very, very strong, they're very consistent. And looking at their stats here, the players from Pylon Esports are very, very versatile. Like si Ruruben Ben dito. He can't play jungle, can't play mid, and si Yuchi Mion. Wow, we got a G Idol fan here.
Okay.
Pwede rin siya mag-swap ng roles dito kay Ruruben kung kailangan. So they're really, really versatile here. Of course, most of the bans here against MCL are usually against Gragas during the promotions and relegations here. And here they actually are able to first pick it. But this gives Galio Akali over to Pylon Esports, which even with the adjustments to Akali, I think this is still a very, very powerful red side pickup.
Kumbaga ginagawa lang dito guys is nag-trade lang power pick. So Galio very strong, versatile into the meta ngayon. And another very key academy pick, I always see Galio dito sa mga games natin na very high priority sa academy scene natin. And an Akali, which is not seen often, but if we see one,
not anymore.
May malakas talagang gumamit ng Akali. So ever since the nerf na medyo nawawala na yung popularity niya, but I think Pylon Esports, they have a very good Akali player, so I think they're confident with that Akali pick dito.
Yeah, Kuya Fall on the Baron lane here on that Akali plays yung tulad na Camille Fiora, so he's really comfortable in the carry role, no? And with the Ari, even with the small armor nerf here, it's still very, very strong, very popular. We've seen it a lot in pro play as well. And meanwhile, on MCL, Sona is very, very interesting, right? Like it's like budget Seraphine.
Yes.
To be honest, and Renekton. We've seen a lot of Renekton in pro play, but it hasn't really found a lot of success. Like Fiora kind of beats him in lane depending on the skill. Garen kind of guts him, especially with jungle presence. So we'll see if Blue is able to really use that Renekton to its full potential. And looking at it, this is a very characteristic comp from Warlocks, no? Na medyo gagawin nilang safe si Pineapple Crepe. Tapos, so Stellar.
Very interesting.
I mean, Stellar has played Renekton mid yesterday, no?
Yes.
So that's actually something that they could go for. And Gragas is something na ginagamit talaga ni Blue. He likes to play that's very, very tanky topside. Could go for the AP then. Pero meanwhile, Pylon Esports, very, very powerful comp. Like, they can really rush in talaga.
Oo nga eh. But isang bagay na nakita ko dito is sa team comp ng MCL, they're actually going with a Darius jungle rather than a Gragas jungle. So, wala pa ako nakita ang Darius. May nakita akong Darius jungle sa competitive, kaso medyo matagal na. So,
Matagal na.
ngayon, so I think MCL they want to show something. They have a very strong front-to-back lineup with Renekton, Darius, Gragas, yung tatlong frontline. Tapos meron din silang Sona for the sustain, and then Saya for the Saya ba ADC nila, right? Saya for the self-peel and the damage as well. So a lot of CC on the side of Warlocks. And then dito naman sa Pylon Esports, I think if I'm not mistaken, they have Ari. A lot of big potential with their lineup with the Ari, Akali, and even the Olaf actually. So we have the Olaf Galio combo as well para makapasok sa backline nito. So kailangan mag-ingat tong MCL sa initiation nitong Pylon Esports. Hindi dapat mahuli yung mga key targets, and I think this will be a very interesting match sa dalawang teams.
Yeah, and both junglers starting on opposite sides. Unless may shenanigans sa mangyayari, it's really just going to be a trade of scuttlers. We do see sometimes, depending on the clear speed of the junglers, that they still end up facing off on the same side of the scuttler. Could happen here. I mean, Darius' clear speed is quite slow kung i-compare mo sa Olaf. But I don't think they're going to try and fight it out, especially Darius versus Olaf this early. It's really not favored for Darius here unless he's able to stack up those hemorrhage stacks, like maybe pag na-ambush niya from a brush and get that early lead in the hemorrhage stacks, but doesn't seem like we're going to be seeing it here. But yeah, so far, nothing, it's just really standard all around here, just them waiting for an opportunity and start prepping for that Baron lane as well as they can.
Yeah, so interesting na ginagawa yung Olaf is top side start into bottom side. So I think they're both going with the 4-camp clear and then on to Scuttler. So most likely they're iniiwasan nila sa isa. But most likely pagdating sa Dragon fight, that's when we will see yung mga teams. So I think Pylon has both teams have a good advantage, but I think I'm favoring it a bit for Pylon because they have a lot of pickup potential, especially with a package, which is very, very deadly, as well with that Galio and Charm. So if kung may tumamang CC sa isang target, most likely would go down. But if the MCL Warlocks are able to get a good initiation with the Gragas cast, they have a lot of CC. Literally everyone on their team, meron silang crowd control and kaya nila din mag-pick off ng target. So most likely it goes back to the execution, and I think there's gonna be a fight sa bot.
Yeah, just fighting over those Krugs as well, but I think 2v3, it's not something that they want to really play around. And I think this is just Ruben taking advantage of his clear speed compared to the Darius, right? He knows that he'll be able to get these Krugs with the help of his bot lane having priority.
Yeah.
And okay, Mischance might trade back those Krugs for a kill, though apprehend on Kuya Fall, but with that Twilight Shroud, it's not going to come through. The damage is not enough. It's really, really tough for Darius to get a good gank onto an Akali, and it's just not going to happen. It does push him out of the lane, though.
Yes, so even if Mischance was level 5, the unfortunate thing is Blue was still level 4, so couldn't throw that explosive cast para ma-burn yung spells ng Akali. But I think he was still able to get some good poke down para maging low yung HP ni Kuya Fall, but nothing much happening so far still. Nothing burned.
Yeah, it's really about what PUP got there. It's just the Krugs are just a bonus. I think having these wards here on the Tribrush actually deep into the Krugs camp as well could give a lot of information to the Pylon Esports here. And this is allowing Thair and Kid, or if you've been following, well, you can't really follow Division B teams, but it's Kaito or Kid. Allows him to really posture aggressively here in this Dragon lane, keeping Domat here in check as well as Pineapple Crep. And I think that's just the nature of the lane. Just concede a little bit because you can't really risk leaving in this Sona very, very vulnerable, especially when Drake is about to come up.
Yeah, so Dragon is gonna come out 20 seconds, most likely nag-recall na yung mga teams. So if you see a look at the bottom of their minimap, na-cancel yung recall ng Saya and Sona. So we would be seeing teams reset. So every lane, it's Dragon time, ding ding ding. Package is gonna be up, so Corki will be getting that, and we will see. We need to see the setup of these teams on the very important kung sinong team ang mauna dito, kung the single target burst of Pylon or the crowd control of Warlocks. So I think Pylon starting the Dragon early.
And mga sisimula na nga nila. It is Mountain, so medyo tanky. So they could get very disrupted here by MCL. But the thing is, because they delayed the recalls here from Pineapple Crep and Domat, this actually puts MCL in a position where they cannot influence that. And I think MCL is okay with giving that Mountain Drake up. If it was something like Infernal Drake, I think they would have been a little bit more greedy and trying to intercept. But for now, I think they're just going to give that up. They don't want to do anything too brash because this is their Division A spot on the line here. And they definitely do not want to give that up against PUP.
Yeah, so very good dragon take by Pylon Esports. Nakakuha na lang yung early lead na kailangan, but it will still depends on the rotation. But Ari will be doing the ulti, but Stellar with a flash out. So
yeah, that's a very, very quick flash here. He is giving up a lot of control here in mid lane. And this is allowing Yuchi as well to just go for the wave clear. But nothing too big happening from there, though. If we can check the items, we will see how prepared these two teams are for the upcoming Herald. Because there's no big momentum shifting team fight in Drake, this Rift Herald is just going to be about how much gold they've gathered so far. So if we look at it, Triforce still not ready here for a mischance. And that's really the consequence of not having the gold of a laner at that point. So he's not going to have that big power spike ready for Rift Herald unless he gets a recall immediately after blue buff.
Yes, but MCL Warlocks are more prepared now kasi wala nang package yung Corki, which gives them a better chance. So I think Darius would no, he's not gonna. He has the Triforce, but he doesn't know if he's gonna go back or start the Herald. But here we have a flash dito sa bot side.
Yeah.
Kuya Fall with that ultimate, the execution, getting that first blood. Grabe naman, isang combo lang, and here on the top side, I think MCL Warlocks will start the Herald.
Yeah, they are kind of under duress here. This is technically a 4v4 without the Akali right around the corner, but Kid is going to go in with a ton. I love the run, getting two as well. But from downtown, it is going to be Ruroben going for those undertows there. A lot of them flashing over, not going over the rock here, but he is still auto-attacking from around the corner. Stellar dealing as much as he can with out of the run, but it's not going to be enough as PUP. They wipe MCL out here. That is effectively an ace. That is going to be looking at this replay, Rebanga.
Yeah, so very good starting taunt by this by Kid, getting a, even if Sona gets a 2-man naka-stun, Olaf still has that ultimate to just counteract, and he's hitting over the wall. Yan yung isa namatay yung Saya even though na wala sa side yung Olaf. So that will be a very crucial win para sa Pylon Esports, getting a solo kill on the bottom side as well as winning the 4v4 trade on the top side.
And that's a huge shift of momentum here in this game one, in this best of 5, because that's already 5k gold lead going to PUP Pylon Esports, and that should be helping them along in their spikes. And considering that their comp here likes to rush down, medyo mas madadalian sila, just outstatting MCL Warlocks here. Already Infinity Orb here for Kuya Fall means that these executes are going to be way easier. And because Yuchi and Ruroben are going to be the ones, and as well as Thair, of course, with a poke, are going to be whittling MCL down, that means he can go and clean up very, very easily.
So, Pylon Esports getting a very good lead, especially sa mga carries. Pero dito si Kuya Fall going with a flank onto mischance. Nakita niya, kaso nga lang may bantay. So, choosing not to continue with the flank. But Dragon will be spawning at 30 seconds. Most likely, ibibigay ito ng Warlocks. But on the event na i-contest nila, it will be very interesting kung paano nila pabawiin yung early deficit na nangyari.
Yeah, and I think for now, they might just have to concede this Cloud Rig. And the thing with MCL yesterday is that the way they've been losing is that they don't stick to their win conditions here, because here they can just go for the front to back, just let the Saya scale up here. They could try and contest this, but they have to be very, very careful. The most important priority here is to make space so they can actually front to back. If they're just getting run over, then PUP Pylon Esports can just walk over them at this point. So here MCL going for that Rift Herald, they were able to take that down. So this could be a pressure point that they're pinching on Pylon Esports.
Great position, sir. Behind the enemy line.
Infiltrated.
Yes, even kahit yung Corki at the back.
Oh, they are gonna get that Zuma knockup as well. Hero's entrance coming in with a package coming through, cutting off the escape of MCL. Warlocks now stuck, has to flash over, but the shot still comes through from there. And that's gonna be kills coming through as well. Double kill here going to Ruroben, and that is going to be an ace coming through for Pylon Esports with the Drake on top of that, extending their gold lead to 7k. And that is going to be huge here. Taking a look at that replay, Rebanga, let's break this down.
What a flank by Kuya Fall and PYL Thor, cutting their escape. Sona, no way out. They had to go back, but they had to go through the Valkyrie of Corki. And with that, Stellar left alone. Kaso nga lang, wala na yung backline na deny yung access ng backline na napatay nitong si Kuya Fall as well as ni PYL there yung backline, and I think they'll try to get a kill dito
Trying to
kay
get for Kuya
Fall
Fall here.
para
Yeah, Shuriken
bawiin lang
flip
to.
over the wall. But I think he's just gonna go down here for
Okay.
free.
Consolation
free.
prize.
Consolation prize. And it's still going to be a 9k gold lead, but one kill there against the Akali is a little bit helpful. It's not going to fix all the problems that MCL has, but once again, MCL there, they weren't paying attention to the spacing. Right, their positioning was off. They let themselves get infiltrated by Kuya Fall and even by Fair, infiltrated by the marksman for the play on the package. There means that they need the space. Yeah, actually an early Baron call here.
Nakita nila nasa baba yung duo bot as well as the Gragas, so they opted to start for the Baron, but MCL have no idea.
Di nila alam.
Darius is just clearing the grump, and that will be Baron para sa Pylon Esports. So easy, great Baron call dito para sa Pylon Esports, securing that Baron without any contest.
It's all about reading the opponent and information control. They know that MCL doesn't have vision there. They know that MCL's not in a position to try and interfere. So okay, that probably means they're not expecting us to go for Baron. So let's just go for it right there. And PUP with a 10k gold lead, they've already started peeling away the outer layers. They can go for these inner turrets here, open up the map even more for themselves. And we already see that with the way that they've set up their vision. It's kind of on the halfway point. Pylon trap here. No Featherstorm is going to be saving him from there, and Domat is just going to be a doormat as he gets stepped on by Pylon Esports, constructing them pylons in his bot lane, setting up their control, taking away resources from MCL, and the next turret is going to be the inner bot lane.
Grabe mag-snowball nitong Pylon Esports. So special props to Kuya Fall. Once you get the Akali going, wala talagang pipigil sa champion na to kasi wala silang pang check sa invisibility as well as to 3 melee champions. They have no time para patayin yung Akali. They need to there are other targets as well na kailangan nilang patayin, katulad itong Corki, but here we have Hero's entrance. Just
to try and get this turret here. Inhibitor down is going to come through. Kid, though, he's ready for the Winds of War into the Justice Punch. He's going to take a lot of damage. Actually, almost going down. Kuya Fall, though, he is going to go down to Stellar, but he gives his life for that. Yuchi, though, 1v4. Can he go for the first damage with his Rocket Belt? He's just coming through, dodging everything. Oh my lord, it just flashes over. He buys so much time for Pylon Esports, gets the triple, and that Ignite is just going to burn through that Darius. Man, and Hari 1v4ing, using the sustain and also the slipperiness of that champion to come through. This secures game 1 here for PUP Pylon Esports.
Grabe yung flash ng Orb of Deception na yun, yung pabalik to Orb of Deception. Tagal na buhay ng Ari, flashing in,
nag-run it back.
3 targets down. Before Ari goes down, nakapag triple kill pa nga siya, getting 3 targets down before dying, and that will be game 1 para sa Pylon Esports.
Yeah, and PUP looking to be very, very strong here. They did 3-0 a Division A team yesterday, and now they're looking to start another 3-0 here. MCL has to strike back, but they need to be able to play to their win conditions. They need to be able to make space for themselves, because PUP Pylon Esports, they're going to be rolling down the hill like thunder.
Yeah, so Pylon Esports proving na kayang-kaya nila yung mga Division A teams. So they're just at least 2 wins away, but it's not over yet para sa Warlocks.
Game 1 pa lang.
Napakatagal. Dami pang games na pwede mangyari. A lot of adjustments can be made, and this will be the test kumbaga para sa MCL kung talagang kaya pa nila sa Division A, or will Pylon Esports just overpower them. So let's see sa pagdating sa next game.
Yeah, I want to see the Stellar leadership, right? Like, I want to see that veterancy come through for Stellar, so he can lead his team to victory, because I think he has it in him talaga. It's just like he has to translate that here onto Wild Rift. So we'll see. This is a best of 5, so there's a lot of opportunity here to turn around. Pylon Esports got a 3-0 yesterday, but if they can get 1 win, that could stop the momentum here against the Polytechnic University team.
Yeah, so MCL, a lot of marami pa naman silang mabubo. They haven't used their usual comps yet. So Stellar opting for that Renekton with very interesting pick. Usually nasa Baron lane siya, but I think Stellar needs to, I think it's best with those mage type champions where he can snowball. And then help him get a lead, and then once Stellar gets a lead, it will be much easier for him to shot call and rotate on the other parts of the map para matulungan niya yung mga other laners.
Like if you ask me, he's best when he's on his Annie, he's on his
Miss Annie.
Ari as well. Because that means I think yung reason kung bakit nag-Renekton mid dito si Stellar is so he has a presence ko sa Drake, tapos may presence din siya sa Rift Herald on that Renekton. Pero it's because of the matchups, medyo mahirap eh. And he's not really able to get that early lead that he needs for that Renekton. I think with the Ari, he can go clear mid, go for get priority in mid, get ready for the Drake fight, and then get ready for the Herald fight right after. Yun talaga yung nag-shine siya, or Annie, where he's able to initiate for the rest of his team. But we'll see, no? We'll see if it is going to come through, because it's going to be tough, because the pressure here, I think, is at its greatest, more than in group stage, because here you're fighting for your slot.
Yeah, so I think para sa akin, the one reason why kung bakit he chose the Renekton because it's an Ari, and if you look at the reset patch note, na-nerf na yung armor ng
less
Ari
armor.
5. So most likely, AD mids would be more effective against the Ari in the mid lane. But he was unable to get yung mga early kills na kailangan para mapag-snowball because Renekton is very, very strong kapag napag-snowball early. Kaso nga lang, pag hindi niya nakuha yung kills na yun, it will not be as effective as a Renekton with an early lead, kumbaga.
Yeah. And it's really like maybe Mischance needs to step up as well. Like we see him a lot on these high initiating champions like Vi or Camille or even Wukong. And I feel like if they want to succeed, they need to be putting Stellar in the limelight, right? Like they need to be giving resources to Stellar because he's their shot caller, he's their leader. Pineapple Crep, yung mga champions na nilalaro naman niya is very low maintenance. Ezreal, Tristana, Zaya, those can pretty much just stay safe in lane. See, Blue naman, he likes being tanky in the top side, so he doesn't, as long as he doesn't die repeatedly, he's okay not getting too much attention from Mischance.
Yes, we haven't seen yung traditional MCL comp yet. So para sa akin, I think nag-warm up lang sila. Tinatry lang nila first game. They tried to use an orthodox comp, kumbaga. But it did not work out. So I think on the coming games, they will be using more of a traditional picks kung ano talaga ginagamit nila. And let's see dito, pagdating sa champion select on our game 2 between Pylon Esports and the Warlocks.
Yeah, Garen Camille banned here against MCL. Talagang yung Camille nito ni Mischance, parang nagbatak yung Camille ni Mischance since group stage, kaya binaban lagi dito sa promotions. Meanwhile, sa PUP Pylon Esports, yeah, Fiora on Kuya Fall is gonna be very, very scary. Ziggs here is very interesting kasi Ruru Ben plays it in the mid lane, but I think Kid also plays it in the support role. And we have seen it, especially pag nag-corky dito si Ter, baka pero well, banned yung Ziggs. Pero if there ever goes Corky and Ziggs is not banned, baka yun yung kunin nila as their support.
So flex pick dito para sa Pylon Esports yung Ziggs pick. So I think better safe nga. Very hard to handle a Ziggs also. Napakalakas ang wave clear. You need a very good team synergy and strong initiation para ma-counter yung Ziggs. So medyo ma-hassle kalaban. So tanggalin na lang natin. Let's play more traditional. But I think that will mean that a lot of other picks are open, like the Gragas again will be open in this game.
Yeah, I think Gragas could be something na gagamitin dito ni Ruben in the jungle as well. But looking at the other priorities, like Camille is banned, Fiora is banned, Akali is open. Baka kunin ulit ni Kuya Paul dito. That is
but
very,
I think
very
Stellar
possible.
also plays Akali, so I think what they could do is they could trade yung Gragas tsaka Akali or even take the lead in para hindi ma-counter yung Akali. So, a lot of draft diversity, a lot of things that could still be made and adjustments para sa game na to. So, and we could be looking at a very, very different game to dito.
Yeah. Hopefully, it's a very, very different game too kasi sobrang decisive ng victory ng PUP kanina. Here, I want to see MCL really fight back. And because right, once again, this is their slot into the UAC Wild Rift Division A next split. So talagang kailangan nila paglabanan to. And of course, etong lahat ng UAC na to, brought group stage, yung playoffs, tsaka grand finals, and then all the way to the promotionals. This wouldn't be a thing without our amazing sponsors and partners. UAC 2021 is powered by Globe Telecom, ASUS ROG Phone 5, Logitech G, Right Games, and Twitch Students. So yeah, ASUS ROG with the Phone 5. Alam natin, finiflex na ni Rebenga. Last time, Flexi ulit dito.
Flexi.
Walang yeah, it's the
Low-key,
king. It's the
low-key.
Low-key, you're literally just showing it here. That's low-key. Pero yeah, yan yung reigning king of gaming smartphones right now, the ROG Phone 5, my Qualcomm Snapdragon 888, 144 Hz AMOLED display, a massive 6000 mAh battery. So you gotta take your gaming experience to the next level. Hashtag for those who dare lang yan. So available in your nearest ASUS or ROG accredited stores nationwide, or go to rog.acadarena.com to check it out.
Yeah, so I think Ziggs
Mhm.
nga will be the final ban, and Pylon Esport
Galio.
actually getting thinking about the Galio first pick rather
Mhm.
than the Gragas as to nakakali. So it worked first game pa naman
Mhm.
yung support nila, got a good performance with the Galio, so I think they'll be opting it again. And then
Yeah.
yun na nga, sinasabi
Akali
ko,
being
I
trade
think
away.
they'll
Gragas kukunin din
get
ba?
the Akali and probably the Gragas as well.
Mhm. So that is open here. And the Galio
Oh,
here,
Jana.
Jana. That's a very interesting priority on red side that gives up the Gragas back to PUP, no? And that is something that Yuchi does play. Um, pero right now, yung jungle yata natin si Ruruben. And looking at it, mostly yung mga nilalaro jungle ni Ruruben is mga initiators talaga like Wukong or Olaf or like the assassins like Rengar. So Gragas could be in his playbook here. Pero usually si Yuchi nakikita natin nagagragas jungle dito sa Pylon. But Corki is gonna get picked up. No Ziggs to pair with it. Pero baka makita natin yung... wait, no. Galio's already locked in here kasi I think si Kid...
Singed, okay.
Singed here coming in for blue. So wala pa... So yung Akali na to either papupunta kay blue or talagang
Raven
sinesave
as
nila
well.
yung pick. Oh,
Okay.
interesting. May Lee Sin pa
Spicy picks
tayo.
for both sides. So yung Baron laners natin, I think it will most like, and we still don't know where the Riven will go actually. So it could be either in the Baron lane, mid, or even jungle kung saan nila. And then not in the jungle because there's Lee Sin. So mid or Baron. So most likely Baron, but we'll see. Both Gragas, Riven flexible to both lanes, and I think Warlocks will be finishing it up with a Wukong. So a much more traditional comp para sa kanila. With the two front line as Assassin and a Kaisa, Jana for the protection, and Peel as well. So, much safer draft, kumbaga, para sa Warlocks. Much stronger team fighting as well.
Yeah, medyo nag-raise yung eyebrow ko nung nag-second pick Jana sila on the first rotation on red side. It did give up this Gragas here, and it's in the hands of Yuchi. So, before, nakita natin sa Division B, Yuchi on the Gragas, usually sa jungle yan. And here, if he is bringing it onto the mid lane, he still has that mastery carrying over in terms of the mechanics. Meanwhile, si Ruruben, I don't think we've seen him play Lee Sin sa Division B. Pero, I mean, Lee Sin's like, if you're a jungler and you haven't picked up Lee Sin, what kind of jungler are you, diba? So, talagang that's in his champion pool. Parang given na dapat yun at that point.
Kung jungle
So,
main, dapat marunong ka mag-Lee Sin, basically, lalo na dito sa Wild Rift.
So here we're going to game 2 of PUP Pylon Esports from, of course, PUP, the Polytechnic University of the Philippines, versus Malayan College's Laguna Warlocks here. And it seems like it's just going to be a standard start for the most part here. Starting on opposite sides once again. Or actually, starting on... Yeah, tama.
It's the opposite sides. But one thing to note na magandang Lee Sin pick dito because Team Warlocks have 3 people that can go invisible, which is the Akali, Kai'Sa, as well as Wukong. So Lee Sin pick, if used well, pwede niya i-negate yung invisible ng champions na yon, as well as pwede niya rin sipahin yung Wukong para ma-counter yung ultimate. So very interesting, important pick as well para dito sa Pylon Esports, as well as Yuchi with the Gragas cask also para for disengage as well para sa Akali, Wukong, a lot of displacement kumbaga dito sa Pylon Esports. And very interesting ko tong Riven. So let's see if Kuya Fall likes to use very mechanically skilled champion. So proving the Akali na magaling siya mag-Akali. So dito naman sa Riven, kung tignan natin kung ano magagawa ni Kuya Fall dito.
Yeah, against a Singe, I mean, the kill potential could be there, pero most of the time, annoying lang talaga itong Singe na to. But it's going to concede a lot. So yeah, if you fling ka into the turret range, eat that turret shot as well. It's really the gist of how you late against Singe. You get flung into the turret range and eat a couple shots. But here, I think he's very capable of just getting those honey fruits as well, get back into the action of that lane. Nandiyan naman si Ruben kung kailangan niya ng tulong or could even go for a dive possibly. Blue is on that threshold na pwedeng isa lang i-dive. Oh, yes chance. Medyo nakakatakot dito. Kid having to flash over as well with the Justice Punch just to get more distance. Just standard for the most part. Naghahanap pa rin si Ruben dito. Baka makakuha sila laban kay Blue, especially pag level 5 na si Kuya Paul. It's gonna take a while.
Yeah, so a great play by Miss Chance forcing the flash, and I think Kuya Fall is trying to force the wave. I think cosplay ng AFK or AFK talaga siya. Oh no, AFK nga talaga siya.
No.
And that will be first blood kaya lang para kay Blue. I thought he was trying to bait kasi nandun yung Lee Sin sa top side, but it's too
Not
good
like
to be
this.
true.
Not like
Unlucky.
this. Thankfully it's on a Singe. Pero that just means na mas maging annoying itong Singe to ng mas mabilis. So that's actually the reason why I'm quite scared here that this an early first blood here for this Singe accelerates his gameplay. But for the most part, sana makabalik na si Kuya Fall like immediately kasi it seems like he is like a crucial element of the PUP Pylon Esports game plan because he's always on those carry Baron laners. But here, let's check on this opposite side here. I think at this point MCL knows, okay, they're down one member. We need to take advantage of it as much as we can bago siya bumalik.
So I think MCL need to push on the pressure as well kasi lamang one up kayo and most likely their advantage already. Advantage na sila even if Kuya Fall comes back, Singe already gets his farm, na-deny na ng maraming CS, so a lot of Pylon Esports need to play a bit defensive as for now. Most likely kailangan nila ibigay yung objectives while just try to farm up para sa team nila.
The first Drake is going to be Mountain. I think that's a Drake that it's okay. It's not ideal to give it up, but it's not as disastrous as say giving an early Infernal Drake for free, and then that just becomes a great investment later in the game here. But let's see, MCL here. They're not making any crazy moves just yet. Like this lead here the 600 gold lead that they have could be much bigger. And I think they're going to look for that here with this Mountain Drake. Just if they can't force anything like a team fight, at least make these leads in increments with this Drake and then set up for the Herald later. So Lichbane is completed on Stellar. He's going to be dealing a lot of burst damage once he infiltrates. And Blue on that Rylai's. Oh man. Medyo mahirapan din tong Pylon na lumayo or humabol. It's gonna be the Drake. Actually, PUP is the ones forcing the Drake here. Nakabalik na dito si Kuya Fall. But it is a little bit dangerous kasi all the members of MCL are in position. This Mountain Drake's dealing a lot of damage to them. Explosive Cast is not gonna do much as well. It will get stolen by the Warlocks, and now Pylon Esports is put in a very, very tough spot. One member down, Ruben is down as well. Cannot escape. Will be for Kid as well. Kuya Fall and there do get one return kill in revenge there, but it's gonna be a 3-4-1, and that is gonna be a 2k gold leader for MCL. So it's going to be Rebecca, I think your mic.
Oh, sorry,
there we go. Yeah.
sorry. So very ang tawag dito? Yung Pylon Esports very greedy starting the Baron with a man down even though na may package sila. Alam ko na yung package sila, but still with a man down, very hard for them to win that dragon fight. Kahit na yung mapatay sila, the Lee Sin just got focused down, and with Lee Sin going down, easy steal para kay Miss Chance, Kuya Fall getting back in the game, and I think Pylon Esports just need to reset and try to go again next clash.
Could go for the Rift Herald here. That will basically get that momentum back in their favor if they're able to get that. The good thing here is that MCL, they only have a 1.5k gold lead here after that like 2-minute DC, which is huge. This means that PUP Pylon Esports isn't too far behind here. It's just really going to depend on what items they've scrounged up together in the meantime. And but here with Rift Herald being spawned, it seems like they are in position. Both Baron laners are there in the bot lane, just really trying to push out those waves. But I think Blue, they're already sending Blue.
It again?
Yeah. I think they're leaving Kuya Fall here to try and CS a little bit in that Dragon lane. So that means POP cannot be the ones to start this Herald. They have to give space for Kuya Fall to farm back up, which might mean just trying to go for a disrupt on the Herald instead of full contesting it.
MCL Warlocks, nire-respeto nila tong Pylon Esports. So Singe, despite going up onto the Herald. Di na lang in-start, so they just opted to get the Singed back to the lane and try to deny the farm. But ito na nga, MCL Warlocks starting the Rift Herald. Pylon Esports not in the best position.
Yeah.
And I think
Look at
ibibigay nila
Ruru, man.
Lee Sin is not on Lee Sin is on bot side.
Yeah, so that's just gonna be another free objective here for PUP. They can't really trade back anything. Si Kuya Fall, hindi siya capable of taking on blue, especially under turret. So wala siyang masyadong nakuhang value dun sa Dragon Lane space na nakuha niya. He does get the Vamp Scepter as well as finishing up the Black Cleaver here, which will shore up his damage. If you actually look at it, it's not too far. It's like a difference of 500 gold between him and blue. But the thing is, gold is much more important on Riven than it is on Singed. So we'll see how he's able to get back from this deficit.
Yes, hindi pa naman, it's not yet over because there's a lot of things that can still happen. 2K not the best, not the worst, not the biggest gold lead that can happen. A lot of things can still happen. Isang clash lang yan. Pag nanalo ng Pylon Esports, one clash, most likely makakabawi agad sila sa gold and they'll even be leading the game. So very important. Sino man nanalo sa next team fight dito? Both teams just trying to farm up. Most likely sa Dragon ang the next fight will be at Dragon.
Yeah, and the important thing here is that there at least has a Triforce. They have basically their core items here, except for Kit, who is on the support role naman. So once they actually get good position, makakapag-churn out ng damage just there with that Triforce as well. Kuya Fall with the Black Cleaver. Medyo hindi natutulungan masyado si Ter, but Ruruben will definitely appreciate the armor shred as the time goes by. So if they can get a pick-off, I think they have very good pick-off potential here. Just have the key burst from Kuya Fall, as well as maybe get a resonating strike into a kick. Maybe they can catch someone like that. But or they could just go for disrupt. They do have Hero's Entrance and the explosive cast to try and disrupt this Drake take here from MCL if they do go for it.
Yeah, so Dragon is up. Both teams pinipwestohan na nila, and Pylon Esports have the, kumbaga, sila yung nakapwesto ngayon sa Dragon. MCL Warlocks medyo natatakot sila pumasok, and I'm not sure kung why, because MCL Warlocks should have the advantage going into this Dragon fight, but it's all nasa positioning pa din, and I think Stellar and Kid will be meeting each other, but tamang outcome.
Yeah, and this Drake is really right now, this Drake isn't really the center of attention. The Drake is just a backdrop, right? It's like something that you threaten. Because right now, MCL, pinupushin nila yung Dragon lane, they're pushing in the mid lane as well. Whoever gives up control, because they're trying to go for the Dragon, could lose a mid lane outer turret, and that is huge. But here, yeah, like I said, it's all this Drake here is gonna be the backdrop, but it's gonna be a huge idol Durant here, possibly here. That's gonna be Kuya Fall here trying to go in as well with that depth package coming through as well. Oh, Stella, gotta watch him out. But Kuya Fall here living on a prayer, but the rest of MCL Warlocks, it looks like they've had a foothold with a Void Seeker there, able to catch out Kuya Fall, and that is going to be a Drake here going to the Warlocks. Take a look at that replay.
Yeah, so even if Pylon Esports with a very good initiation with a 3-man taunt as well as a very good package, getting that Janna out of the way, ang problema naman is your backside. Stellar is just killing their untouched. Kumbaga, walang pumapansin because lahat ng resources ng Pylon Esports nakafocus doon sa Janna and Singed, and not the best targets to try to kill as soon as possible. Leaving Pineapple Crepe and Stellar just free hitting the clash, getting those kills. So very good advantage dito para sa MCL Warlocks.
Yeah, and they're building that up into a 4K gold lead. IE completed now for Pineapple Crepe, so he's going to be putting out a lot of damage with that Bork. This Baron is actually a very real objective that they can threaten against PUP. And the thing is, Kuya Fall hasn't really base checked into that as well. Blue taking a lot of damage, but it could be baited into the Cyclone, into a choke point. However, a lot of damage coming through. Rocket Belt is going to keep them going there, though, going for an assassination, but he gets refragged right in the end. And that is going to be a 3-4-1. Now Yuchi on the run here, and this is the trigger for MCL to go for this Rift Herald. Yuchi now on the run, but Stellar's able to assassinate him, no problem. That is going to be a Baron plus a lot of kills here for the Warlocks.
Yes, I think Pylon Esports napakaganda ng inisip nila trying to get the Singe, but I think one misplay by the Galio, hindi tumama kanyang third skill, nakapag-flash out tong si Blue as well as Living. So nabuhay tong Singe, they had to chase a bit, and that slight overchase gave enough time for MCL Warlocks para sa combo,
Kuya
but
Fall.
I think Kuya Fall
Yeah,
will
he's just dead.
trade his life para sa tower, and MCL Warlocks securing that Baron for their team, and I think this will be a very good may lead na. Lamang na lamang. Dito na nakikita na lamang na talaga ang
Yep,
MCL
10K,
Warlocks.
9K.
Yep.
And at that point, it's really just PUP because of the comp they've put out. The Ribbon, I think, is one of the biggest factors here. Medyo unfortunate lang yung issue na technical issue na nangyari sa kanya. But even then, the fact that they had a Ribbon means that they are going for a very risky, like, feast or famine kind of conflict. Even if they have the Porky, the fact the fact that the Riven exists means that if they're behind, they're really behind here. The kid is gonna possibly go down. No, he has to leave his buddy behind there, and Ruben has to flash over. Hero's entrance is gonna come through. Could go for the knockup, but no, godlike streak here for Final Crap. He's just going crazy, getting those free hits out. Blue, though, just being an annoying frontliner for the team, has that poison trail up and running. 2 kills here for MCL, but they're a little bit too wounded, have to back off. They just go for the wave clear and then set up, spend their gold, and get ready for the next battle.
Yeah, so napakagandang initiate by Blue, tossing the Singe as well as tanking the towers para mapag-free hit tong si Stellar tsaka si Pineapple Crep, getting those kills, and Pineapple Crep, ayan na nga, grabe naman isang Icathian Rain as well as an auto attack for 101 crit, sending third just back to the base. I think package pa yata yung ginamit niya doon para lang makatakas.
Yeah, that's one big tool. And if you look at the jungle vision, no, MCL, they have the vision so deep, they have full intel on where PUP Pylon Esports has. They see 2 members bot lane and 3 members off the map. They can probably just deduce that, okay, PUP is probably either in their base or top side. So as long as those wards keep coming from MCL, they're gonna be able to get that intel going on where PUP is and use that 12k gold lead to its fullest. And with this next trick coming up, it's gonna be Ocean, which means if it ever reaches Elder, it's gonna be Infernal, and that's gonna be the game ender.
Yeah, so Pylon Esports, ang isang magandang bagay na nangyari is their Warlocks are not able to use the Baron. Wala pang nasisirang inhibitor, which means Pylon Esports could try to extend the game. They just need to give this Dragon. Hindi pa naman siya Elder, so they just choose to give it away and try to farm up until the next big objectives, kasi doon talaga malalaman kung sino ang yun ang kailangan ng Warlocks para ma-close out yung game.
Yeah, and this next Baron here is going to be one more thing. Yeah, they're also getting turrets back against MCL, so they are able to, little by little, close the gap on this gold lead, but I think they're just going to get caught out here, potentially. MCL, they're searching these top rush. Yeah, they're able to get that stealth mission out of there. Instead of going for the recall, they just decide, okay, we're not going to get out of here in time. You have to go. They're going to check the top brush because that's where they last saw us, so let's just go down. And yeah, very, very sneaky, but this Baron is going to be up, and you cannot be sneaky about that whatsoever. Vision is there for PUP, so they will know when MCL is going to try and take that, but the problem is, can PUP do anything about it?
Yeah, so MCL feeling confident starting I think they most likely they'll try to bait or start it as soon as possible, but no, I think they're trying to bait with Blue on the side lane. They want Pylon Esports to face check, but meron silang ward sa Baron, so they're not falling for the baits. Kitang-kita yan na nga yung the ward, so finally natanggal na yung wards.
So now PUP has less information at that point, so they just have to read the movements of MCL here. They know that Stellar is in the mid lane. I think that should be the indication na nagbabaro na sila, kasi they don't need Stellar for that Baron at that point. I think they're gonna be able to secure it no problem. Chase down Pylon Esports. No, they have to back off here. Once again, spend their gold, get ready for the next fight, and then they can finish off the game.
Yes, Kaisa, one of the fastest, or not the fastest, champions to be able to take down Baron, and the MCL just starting the Baron as soon as nawala yung wards. Pylon Esports cannot face check kasi kung sino mag-face check sa kanila pag nandun yung Singe, once na lagyan ng second skill or once tinapa ng Singe, most likely mamamatay siya. So Pylon Esports are not in the position para i-contest yung BR, and MCL Warlocks just mind the game them na kung wari binebait namin pero ni-start namin yung BR. So MCL Warlocks taking the Baron, and this will be very, very crucial para sa Pylon Esports.
Yeah, if they can get that momentum going here, And I think they should be able to get at least 2 inhibs from this Baron buff. I mean, their comp isn't really made for pushing towers, but I'm sure they can just brute force it. Maybe even get a dive on like a 4v3 against Pylon Esports here. That's very, very possible. Kuya Fall can't really fight back against a clear of blue here at this point. So yeah, they're allocating resources here, but look at that. It's going down very, very quick. Kuya Fall trying to go for some really nasty moves here, but the key burst is not going to come through. He just gets taken down, and I think with the floodgates opening, MCL paints the town red. Goes for the Idol of Duran, but I think MCL is very, very happy just attacking that Galio. Take that kill, and Stellar going crazy. He's able to finish off the game for this 1-1 here in this best of 5. Means that MCL takes back momentum in their hands here. And now, PUP, yesterday they got a 3-0, and this time they're getting 1-1 just yet. Will that stop their momentum? Let's find out.
Yeah, so MCL stopping the able to equalize the series to 1-1. So best of 5 na pa naman to. So next game is still not di pa yan matatapos, but looking at the champions dito sa MCL Warlocks tsaka Pylon Esports, so 2 players have stuck out, si Pineapple Crep tsaka si Stellar. So more on the traditional picks of what MCL uses. So yun ang nga sinasabi ko. So important key hero for Stellar getting the Akali. Hindi siya pinapansin sa mga clash as well as Pineapple Crep. Pinoprotektahan niya ni Domat and the blue, and Miss Chance just creating havoc sa mga team fights. Tamang distraction lang, tina-target, kina-crowd control lang, tsaka tinatangke lang niya yung bawas ng Pylon Esports. So, much more well-rounded draft dito para sa MCL Warlocks coming into this game. So, next game, we'll see. Tignan natin kung anong adjustments gagawin ng Pylon Esports. Will they just think, bad, ano lang yan, bad start. So, most likely, let's try to redraft, or will they switch out their strategy? So, isa lang nakikita dito, one very key pick sa series ito, I think will be the Akali.
Yeah. Like, whether it's on Kuya Fall or whether it's on Stellar, it's such a powerful pick in their hands. Like, even despite the early game nerfs, if he's able to scale up into like level 8, level 9, dun talaga nagkaka-problema yung teams against Akali. Pag nakapag-snowball siya and na-accelerate yung game plan niya at that point. So I think that's either you ban it if you're not blue side, or you just try to take it if it's available. No? Like, but that also opens up a couple of other picks na like usually nababan against these two teams. No? Like if you open up the Galio, if you open up the Camille or the Fiora, you could be opening yourself up to something way worse than an Akali. No, kung yun yung play nyo with the draft.
Yes, very important Akali pick dito. If a team is able to force iban ng Akali, that would mean meron mabubuksan ibang champions sa binaban nila sa previous 2 games. I think parehas lang, almost same bans, or if not the same bans lang yung first 2 games nila. So, we'll see kung anong adjustments ang gagawin ng teams dito, or will they just stick to the same strategy na unlucky game, let's try it again. And for MCL, I think importante ang game na to para makuha nila yung groove, kasi if they're not able to get the win last game, they would be in a 2-0 deficit.
Back to the wall.
Not something na ayaw mo mapuntahan, na lugi ka talaga agad 2 games. Yeah. So important match para sa MCL na equalize nila yung game, and gives confidence din para sa team nila.
Yeah, game 3 in a best of 5 is always like a moment of truth. Right? It's where the momentum starts to shift or starts getting out of control. If Warlocks gets a 2-1 here, and the naturally momentum is going to be on their side. They have a a 1-game buffer. But if Pylon Esports take this back, then they could stop Warlocks' momentum short and take the tempo for themselves in this best of 5. And going into this one, yeah, but they could go for like the same thing. But the thing with the Riven earlier was medyo kahit bago siya ma-DC, medyo hindi ko ramdam laban sa Sinj. I mean, it's very annoying to lane against a Sinj if you want to take him down, but it's really not feasible, lalo na pag malapit sa Tori yung wave. But maybe something a little bit more, like if a Kali was taken, if Fiora was banned, was Camille banned? Check ko nga. But if Camille was open, I think that could have been something that Kuya Fall. Yeah. So, kung yung buong champion pool ni Kuya Fall is taken away, what does he have? Yun yung tanong eh.
Most likely Kuya Fall opting for the more bruiser type, ang mga duelist talaga na champion. So, would like to try to snowball the game from this laning phase into the team fights. And then, ito na naman sa other side, itong sa MCL, si Blue, more on the sustain tank. So gusto ko lang kita farman, wala akong balak na magpatayan ganun. So babawi na lang ako sa team fight. So very two different playstyles dito sa
Yeah.
Baron lane natin. One going for very offensive, isa naman very defensive.
Yeah, and going into this next game here, I'm just wondering how they're going to adjust, and the environment for promotionals is quite different. I mean, we did have a new patch since playoffs, no, it's like 2.3a, but it's looking at group stage and then looking at playoffs. Sobrang iba talaga yung priorities ng teams natin. Like in group stage, always banned against MCL. Of course, yung Akali and here is gonna be left open. Baka maban na at this point. But Diana is also something that was always banned against MCL. Parang hindi nagkaroon ng chance si Stellar na ilabas yung Diana niya. So maybe we'll see it here. Parang secret weapon or long forgotten weapon na kaya nilang i-bring out dito. Ziggs is gonna get banned once again against Pylon, Fiora. So blue side dito yung Warlock. So kung
Akali. So
ban yung
Camille will
Akali
be
dito,
open.
Camille
so
will be
either
open.
Camille or Gragas dito para sa MCL, but I think they'll opt more for the Camille. But the question is, if can Blue play a duelist champion, or will they just give it to Miss Chance? Which
feeling
would be the
ko,
more likely
feeling ko
situation.
kunin nila yung Camille, mapupunta talaga kay Miss Chance. If they take the Gragas, mapupunta most likely kay Blue kesa kay Miss Chance. Like, I think yun yung right now yung trend na more possible here for MCL. What's gonna be interesting if they don't pick up either, then that means Pylon could get both. So I think hindi talaga option na hindi sila kumuha ng Camille or
It's a must
Gragas.
na either makuha niyo Camille or Gragas. Just choose your poison. Kung ano mas priority niya. So MCL choosing more of the Camille. So most likely para sa akin, if I was Pylon, would try to get the Gragas and Galio. Para
Gragas Galio is
Galio.
very strong.
Yes, para ma-deny yung Camille combo as well, yung synergy niya with Galio. And let's see kung anong adjustments ang gagawin ng PUP Esports dito.
I could go for the Galio as well, but I think it's also worth waiting that out a little bit. No? Kasi one champion that Kid also plays quite proficiently is the Braum. Pero mukhang hindi natin makita ngayon. I think Galio is just too integral to
Galio Gragas nga. It's as well as a deny pick para sa Camille dito. So they play the Galio as well as they deny the pick as well. So very solid pick dito para sa Pylon Esports to try to answer
Singe to lit.
It worked last game, so why not?
Yeah.
Why not, diba?
Potentially, just have that annoying presence like in the middle. Oh, it's a stellar signature.
Okay.
It's gonna be Fizz.
Very interesting na they showed it so early, especially with two tanks being shown already dito para sa Pylon Esports. I would have saved it for like the last two picks, or try to get the Kaisa first, since it worked very well para kay Pineapple Crepe. So Pylon Esports will be denying that Kaisa para kay Pineapple, as well as getting Olaf para sa
MF.
nila.
If this is gonna be an MF locking, this is gonna be really interesting. But I think it's just gonna be the usual. If Stellar is playing something like Akali or something like Fizz, usually who would want less resources allocated elsewhere. And here with the Ezreal Janna, very, very safe. Because kung last game na nakita natin na it's Kaisa in the Baron lane as well as Singe in the top side, I think here mas may freedom si Miss Chance dito na just go for the mid lane. Because Hextech Ultimatum, trapping them and allowing for an easier chum the waters, I think is very, very strong here. Can go for really good lockdown that helps Stellar out. But Yuchi here with the Gragas, pili ko parang satisfied na siya na just to survive in lane and have more of the resources onto Kuya Fall and onto Thair here.
Yes, so yan na nga yung one of the things na pwede nila gawin para makontra yung Fizz. They just got 4 beefy frontliners dito. So kahit tamaan, medyo mahihirapan makapag-assassinate yung Fizz dito kasi napakadaming frontliner dito. 4 melee as well as Kaisa. So medyo kailangan niya hanapin yung Kaisa dito. But for team MCL, another well-balanced composition with a frontline dito on the form of the Singe, Initiation, galing sa Camille and Fizz, and then protection with a hard carry sa likod with a Janna, Ezreal. So they just replaced, since nakuha nyo ng Kaisa, another champion that can carry really well is Ezreal. And pwede rin i-gamitin pang kite dito para sa mga ginagamit ng Pylon Esports.
And that's going to be really important, no? Kiting back against the Olaf, kiting back against the Darius. these are things that Pineapple Crep is capable of doing. We've seen it before dun sa group stage. Oh, Blue and Kuya Fall could be finding each other, pero mukhang hi-hello lang ang
Yes,
mangyayari dito.
hello. So Kuya Fall opting for the Darius. Nakita na, it's early pick Singe. So one counter dito sa Singe would be the Darius pick. So if you look at yung pwesto ni Blue, medyo nakakatakot lumapit kasi kapag na-misstep mo yung Singe mo, nahatak ka, it's likely hampas-hampasin ka ng Darius until magka 5 stack. So not a good situation na gusto mo mapuntahan. So Blue playing very safe as well as his playstyle. Okay lang malugi, wag lang mamatay sa lane.
And I think just to deny that snowball from Kuya Fall as well. But I think it's also the nature of this level 1 against the Singe. Wala naman siyang magagawa. Can't fling it if you have the poison trail. If you don't have the poison trail, you can't really fight. So here, Kuya Fall gets early level 2. He's still posturing aggressively here against Blue. But like I said, like we said, hindi naman importante kay Blue na manalo ng... he doesn't need to win hard in this top lane here. Meanwhile, Yuchi, he's making sure he knows that he has a lot more wave clear than Stellar. And because if Stellar decides to wave clear, that takes away his escape tool. So here he's leveraging it a lot, making sure that he's gonna have priority in this lane. Lalo na pag dadating na yung Drake.
Both junglers, Scuttler, Crab Top.
Scuttler's gonna get contested here, and I think it's because priority is on the hands of both solo laners. Easy. He's gonna get that for
so
sure.
at Pylon Esports, most likely they're getting the bot Scuttler as well. Itong si Ter tsaka si Kid securing the bottom Scuttler, so that will be an early advantage dito para sa Pylon Esports.
So far, and just 500 gold lead, not too big. They have a lot of wards on the top side here, but MCL, if they can catch Ruruben here on the Raptor camp, this could give MCL's bot lane a little bit of an opportunity to go aggressive, trade harder. Kasi not to kill, because I don't think they have that kind of kill potential, but at least to prepare for that upcoming trade.
So Miss Chance currently still level 4. So kitang-kita siya sa ward, and most likely Kuya Fall trying to bait, but Miss Chance does not
Was it gonna be the
cancel
upper?
TP,
Who burns the flash?
forcing the flash though. So very good nice catch by Kuya Fall, forcing the flash that on si Blue. Most likely pwede na siya ma-dive if Ruruben chooses to ituloy. Kaso nga lang, I think he'll just go back to his bot camps and clear.
And get ready for that mountain. And it's if it's talking about the mountain, at that point, even though it's a good objective, it's no longer really about what the mountain gives in terms of stats, but what it gives in terms of opportunities. Because it's an objective that players need or might want to take. That's an avenue here for Pylon na baka gamitin nila yung Drake as a backdrop for a team fight na pwede nilang ipanalo, lalo na they're a little bit ahead in gold, 1k. That could be the difference between finishing your first big item or not in the first 5 minutes of the game.
So 30 seconds until Dragon spawns. So kanina si Ter, dalawang beses siya na Corki, but he will be choosing the Kaisa instead for this game, choosing the Exhaust as well. So tool very good against Fizz, as well as kapag nag-killer instinct ka sa likod ng ADC, pwede mo rin ma-exhaust Ezreal. So let's see kung anong setup gagawin ng mga team. So checking the items, nabuo na ni Stellar ang kanyang Lich Bane as well as yung Mana Mune ni Ezreal. And dito naman sa Pylon Esports, so I think medyo kulang pa sila sa gold. Olaf, hindi pa niya natatapos Cleaver, as well yung Darius. Kulang pa ng isang wave yung kanyang Triforce, as well as Gragas yung kanyang Liandry's.
But I think yung pinaka-importante dito sa PUP, of course, at 4 minutes, you will usually have the BF Sword, Executioner's Calling Longsword combo here para makapag-evolve na yung Cathian Rain. So, he can actually fight despite the rest of his team not having their completed items.
Starting
they're actually the one starting here. Medyo delicado. There's a lot of disrupt potential here from the Hextech Ultimatum and from the Chum the Water. So here, they're trying to clear away that vision there. They're pulling it hard, but they could get cornered here at this point. They do have Yuchi zoning them out here. It's gonna take a lot of time. They do secure it indeed. Hextech Ultimatum onto Kid. Justice Punch as his last resort there, but it's going to be a lot of lead stacks coming through. Kuya Fall not getting the resets. Oh my lord! But their Miss Chance able to deal much damage onto their flashes over. Not able to fight with adapted defenses, holding them off, and that is going to be 3 for 2. In favor of red team there. Let's take how that looks.
Yeah, so Miss Chance tried to steal the dragon with the W smite, but kinulang yata ng mga 60 HP but Kid, since napoke siya ng Ezreal, mabilis siya namatay, and Kuya Fall getting that 5 stacks early, kaso nga lang ginamit niya yung ulti niya sa Janna imbis na Singe, which was very low. So kung hindi niya nakuha yung reset.
Medyo na fat finger.
Kuya Fall going down and 2 members low, Ter ulting in, getting 2 kills, kaso nga lang meron buhay pa yung mga carries nitong ng MCL, which is the Fizz as well as the Camille, dealing damage as well sa team fight. So even trade overall para sa akin kasi nakuha ng Pylon Esports yung Dragon which is something good for them. And MCL Warlocks, even though may nakuha sila mga kills, just an even trade, and even Pylon Esports getting a bigger goal lead. Kanina 1k lang, ngayon 2k na.
Yeah, and with the Rift Herald spawning and with the items that they just got, Triforce ready na para kay Kuya Fall, at saka kay Ruruben, and that they're gonna be hurting hard and once they go in. And kung ulitin ng MCL Warlocks, yung in-expend nila yung cooldown sila para kay Kid on the Galio. So pagpasok ng Hexic Ultimatum, doon nila finocus yung damage. Okay, free yung the rest of PUP Pylon Esports para makapag-free hit and get that damage out. Still an even trade, but this Herald could change the momentum of this game. Chum the Waters papasok. Yeah, Pylon Esports take a lot of punishment here. That's gonna be a two-shot barrage, take a lot of damage. They do get the steal. Hindi makakataka si Ruruben, but he does have that shield to help him out. The rest of Pylon Esports, they lose the Herald, but they are looking for blood here. One more hit galing kay Ther, hindi niya makukuha dito si Pineapple Crep. And that's just gonna be 1 kill for the Herald. That's definitely worth it for the Warlocks.
Yes, and even if medyo burst yung Olaf, so very good steal dito para kay Miss Chance. Ang maganda dito para sa Pylon Esports is that nandun agad yung Darius, yung Singe, napakalayo pa, so that would give them the edge and the numbers advantage over MCL Warlock. So Pylon Esports able to get a kill even if hindi nila nakuha yung Herald, and Warlocks trying to getting a snipe tong si Stellar, kaso nga lang yung Kai'Sa Galio opting to go back instead of finishing that tower.
Yeah, I mean, it's a little bit dangerous. Wala silang full intel kung nasan yung ibang MCL, so they're just playing it safe at that point. And here it actually stops the fort. If you look at top side, Stellar taking a lot of damage. Playful Trickster getting away, but I think now he cannot defend this threat. Kahit mag-chum the waters pa siya, is going to be first turret gold to PUP, and with Fireable Crep with a perfect Arcane Shift there means that he's able to get out of dodge real quick.
Yeah, so yun nga sinasabi ko sa Fizz, which is very hard na ilagay yung Chum the Water sa mga targets kasi lahat sila pumaharap as well as a lot of tankiness as well. So most key target na kailangan tamaan ng Chum the Waters itong si Stellar is yung kay Kai'Sa. So kaya si Stellar nasa likod lagi ng mga beefy frontline, so it'll be a bit hard. Manageable, but it will be very hard para sa kanya. So Stellar not getting the early lead that he needs, as well as playing the Fizz, especially if you're playing Fizz, kailangan mo ng early skills para mapag-snowball, which is he's not getting this game.
And the good thing here at least is that Pineapple Crep is very safely scaling up here. He already has the Muramana, meron pa siyang Triforce at this point, so he is at least able to act as maybe a playful distraction here against PUP so that Pineapple Crep can go for the free hits. Pero it's just, it's very hard. Kailangan talaga niya mag-hard infiltrate sa likod kung gusto niya makapag-chum the waters kay Ther. And even then, Ther has a lot of ways. He has the Bork just to lifesteal kung ano man mawala sa Chum the Waters, kasi I don't think Stellar can go for a 100-0 at Ther. Makakapag-lifesteal si Ther laban dito sa Fizz na to if he goes for the infiltrate.
Until Warlocks putting a Herald into the mid as well as starting a Dragon at the same time. Kaso nga lang, Pylon Esports...
Medyo delikado. They could get flanked here, but they decide to actually just reform their battle lines at this point. MCL taking a lot of damage. They do get 1 kill against Ruruben. That's gonna be the hero's entrance coming in for the knockouts, but Pineapple Crep gets a kill onto Ther. That is disastrous. Pineapple Crep still free hitting, gets the kill onto the Galio here, and they will secure this. Drake, like I said, just make space for that Ezreal.
Yes, so very interesting team fight ang nangyari dito. Despite Pylon getting a bit of a good position, si Ter diving into the backline, kaso nga lang he's unable to get the Ezreal out, and very good protection dito para kay Domat to save his ADC from getting assassinated. And without the Kai'Sa, ayun yung problema ng comp ng Pylon Esports. Nawawalan sila ng damage if their ADC is down, so they're not able to protect the Kai'Sa kasi nasa harap siya, lilikod siya and walang tumulong sa kanya.
Yeah, yung flank na yun is actually not in PUP's favor at that point pala kasi yung nasa bottom side flank was actually there, so he had to killer instinct papunta sa frontline para lang ma-reform yung battle lines. So that actually was why they decided to restructure and regroup instead of trying to go for a flank there. So still, their 2K go ahead. Kuya Paul, though, is gonna get beat up, rocked into the wrong neighborhood. And I don't think he can get those hemorrhage stacks on anyone. That's one free kill here for MCL. And that is going to be tough here for PUP because that means, okay, they could try and get some pressure here onto mid lane. Jump the waters, not gonna come through. This means free trade turret siguro to, mid lane outer for Dragon lane outer here ng PUP. But it is going to be Ruruben still coming through. This is
MCL trading bottom side though.
Yeah, 2-for-1 turret trade. I think I'll take that. One inner, one outer for one outer. I think that's very, very worth it here. But mukhang naglalaban-laban dito ang MCL Warlocks, defending this to their last breath, dealing a lot of damage against PUP. Pylon Esports, a lot of bursts, but can they finish off the kills? The shield coming through. The exhaust is meeting his chance. Missed his chance there. And that is going to be one. No exit frags here for MCL. That means you just have to give that up. But while still Dragon lane though, tinutuloy pa rin yung push ng MCL. There's a lot of gold going to Pineapple Crepa, and that, like I said, he is the keystone of this operation. So in the end, it's actually a 2-for-2 inner and outer. And I think it comes out a little bit even. And look at the gold. Yeah, it's starting to get even here between MCL and PUP.
Yes, kahit hindi nila napatay yung Kai'Sa with one hit remaining and miss chance going down, nakakuha naman ng bawi itong MCL Warlocks on the bottom side, getting that tier 2 tower as well. So they both traded tier 2 on opposite sides of the map. Very interesting. Both teams, parehas na sila ng gold, almost the same, negligible na, but key players to know. So si Pineapple Crepe getting 10k ready, so a lot of items going to his way as well. Tong si Ter, not the 9.8k, very close as well, so 500 gold difference lang, so it will be very important. So I think yung mga ADCs medyo even, and this will be para sa akin more of the battle of the ADCs, kung sinong ADC mamamatay, most likely siya yung matatalo.
And that means that it's not just about the ADCs at this point, and then it becomes about whose frontline is more solid at this point. And if they can make space, because MCL, I think they can make a lot of space kasi Hextech Ultimatum, pwede siyang pang-feel kung nadadive dito si Pineapple Crepe. Of course, Ezreal has a lot of natural safety as well, just with the Arcane Shift. Meanwhile, PUP Pylon Esports, sila yung medyo mas pressured na pumasok. Kumbaga sila yung beat down dito. And MCL Warlocks, they just need to keep Pineapple Crepe alive. Meanwhile, PUP Pylon Esports, they need to be the ones going in because they have the Olaf, they have the Darius, and those aren't really good if kung sila yung pinupush ng MCL Warlocks at that point.
Yes, so Dragon will be spawning in shortly, so currently alive, and I think this will be the very most crucial team fight, and that will make or break kung sino man mananalo.
Momentum shift ito. So it's gonna be MCL starting it here. They are sticking on one side. They don't want to get flanked whatsoever. So here they do have there's no back to the wall here. The Dragon will reset. But Pylon Esports, okay, parang sinasayaw nila yung wave dito.
Mind games.
Okay. Will they go for the push or will they go for the Drake here? So they do send this Singed over very, very quick. E ngayon, yun yung trigger ng Pylon Esports para pumasok dito sa Drake. But once again, sayaw lang yan. Parang Dragon Dance lang yan sa New Year. And that is going to be...
Dragon is going very low.
Yeah, Miss Chance trying to go in for the steal. Not gonna come through here. Hero's entrance is gonna be a lot of damage reduction. Miss Chance in the middle of everyone. Can he make something happen? Oh, there, dealing a lot of damage. Oh, taking a lot of damage from Pineapple Crepe, though. He's able to infiltrate, but now he has no front line. Has to go through into the Noxian Guillotine comes through. Pylon Esports, though, they gang up now onto Warlocks.
Grabe
4 for
naman
2.
yung
Grabe.
Okay, Pylon Esports. So, choosing to mind games, getting the 50-50 win onto the Dragon. And one thing to note dito, lahat sila nakatingin kay Ter. Pero yung di nila nakita yung hidden MVP dito. Tong si Kuya Fall, getting that 5 stack sa mga sa carries, sa tanks. Itong sa, I think, finarman niya sa Singe, tong si Kuya Fall. And then, once nakuha na yung 5 stacks, lumapit siya kay Pineapple Crepe.
Oh, nag-spread
Getting
lang.
one Q. And then with full stacks, inulti niya agad. Yun, ang kalagad yung ADC, and that's very crucial team fight in favor of Pylon Esports.
Yeah, and that's incredibly crucial there. Like getting those stacks shifts the momentum of the team fight from a kind of lukewarm front line and go in to make space for Thera into a hunting season there for this Darius. And with the 5k gold lead here, it hasn't really shown up for the marksman, so medyo even pa rin si Pineapple Crepe tsaka si Thair, but it's starting to really show here on Ruruben, on Kuya Fall as well. So with the Spirit Visage as well as the Randuins, he's going to be a tough cookie, a tough nut to crack here for MCL. And Baron's gonna be up. That's gonna be once again another momentum shift here possible in this game.
Yes, hindi pa naman tapos, but Pylon Esports, I think they're starting the Baron, so let's see kung anong gagawin ng MCL.
They do have the
Warlocks.
Kaisa.
I-cancel it.
And they are under a ward, so alam ng MCL, they're not gonna get played. But looking at the wave here, it does seem like Pylon has a little bit of an advantage in the bot side.
The wave is kind of big, and I think makukuha nila yung tower if left unanswered. So the creeps on the bottom side already in the tier 2 tower.
But I don't think it's big enough na kaya lang nila gamitin yun as a pressure point.
They're trying to get Kuya Fall na fling.
Oh, they do get the hero's entrance though, but I think this is just prime opportunity to stack up those hemorrhages. Get that HP back with a decimate. It is coming through. Missions has to go for the Zhonya's hook shot away, which means that the Kuya Fall though, once again, these hemorrhage stacks are coming through for blue, but Pineapple Crepe finally takes down Kid. That's one kill, but they have to back off if they can't afford to dive in further, because that could be a Baron play for PUP if they fail to go for the dive.
Yes, that could have been worse para dito sa Pylon Esports. It ended up with just Galia falling down. So, very good heroes entrance para matulungan to si Kuya Fall na hindi mamatay kagad. So, one key player na wala doon is yung Kaisa, which na kinover niya yung top side, kinlear niya yung wave, and then natapos na yung clash, kakarating lang niya, wala nang buhay.
Late to the party.
But not the worst thing to happen kasi ang nangyari dito is Warlocks di na na-convert yung kill na yun into anything at all. So buo pa rin yung towers ng Pylon Esports, especially dito sa top side, and buo pa din yung second tier 2 towers.
Nako po, Elder Infernal.
30 seconds. So this is the decisive clash, kumbaga, kung sino mananalo, kung sino makakuha nito.
Yeah, it's gonna be a choice too.
Well.
Baron or Elder Infernal at this point. I do think that Elder Infernal is more important right now, but the Baron could give MCL a little bit of space in order to catch back. Kasi so far, a lot of the pressure na binibigyan ng PUP Pylon is because of the waves that they're building up. If they can counter that by building up their own waves with the Baron buff, then they could get a little bit of breathing room and catch back up and make sure that Pineapple Crepe is able to continue carrying that rush here. But they are under a ward. Ngayon lang isusweep.
Sad.
But this does mean, Pokon Domat, not gonna be too relevant, I think. Hindi naman siya yung target para ma-insta-burst down. And it's just really about yung side waves. Kung titingnan natin yung side waves, kanino yung nagbi-build up.
So, side lanes in favor of Pylon. No, actually the top wave only, but the bottom wave is in favor of MCL Warlocks. So
opposite sides.
Most likely.
Para nag-opposite side castling itong dalawang teams natin. But they are sending members to shore that up. So sa bot lane naman, reinforce dito ni Blue. Meanwhile, just Baron laners is reinforcing their respective opposite lanes here to try and get that going. But it's gonna be sneaky. But they are under the Scuttle Shrine here. They are forcing it. Habang wala pa si Kuya Fall. Infernal Drake already on the halfway point here. Meanwhile, Pylon Esports, when will they pull the trigger? Void Seeker na punta kay Domat. I don't think that's a target. That's going to be Chum the Waters here onto the Olaf. Rurubendo making a lot of havoc here, but two-shot barrage is gonna deal a lot of damage. The jungler is
Elder.
down. They could try and secure this Inferno,
Pero
pero
also-
there are more priorities. It's going to be the team fight coming through. That's going to be Noxian Guillotine, but he still goes down. See, Miss Chance here could go for the hook shot, but will they try? Pineapple Crab still securing that Infernal, but no, they go immediately for the kill. So there goes down, and that is going to be Elder Infernal being taken by the Warlocks here, plus the Ace means that they are able to push hard. Their waves set up dito sa bot lane, makakapag-push dito and at least onto the inhib. Para rin puwersahin nila ang Nexus dito to go for the 2-1. 10 seconds on the clock here. No, 15 seconds on the clock. I think this is game. That's game.
Wow,
so
MCL
close.
Warlock. Clutch it out on our third game of the day. Grabe. Third. Third.
Yeah, third game.
Third game. And getting that 2-1 match score over Pylon Esports. Grabe. Comes down to the wire, to the last clash. So close. And kudos kay Pineapple Crep surviving the team fight. And even if na lagi siyang hinahabol ni Ther, is not able to get Pineapple Crep kasi may Janna din kasi. Ganda din ng protection as well as yung distraction itong ni Miss Chan si Blue. Very important, very crucial win dito para sa MCL to try to retain their spot dito sa Division A.
Yeah, and even though Stellar got a bad start there, okay lang eh, kasi all he needs to do is be annoying. Be that threat. Kasi even if he's behind, he still deals that consistent damage and a little bit of burst. Meanwhile, si Miss Chance, one thing is that walang magagawa. Kahit CC immune si Ruruben, hindi siya makakatakbo kay Pineapple Crep kung naka-Hextech ultimatum siya. So, it's really all about making that space for Pineapple Crep, which is yung pinag-usapan natin kanina.
Yes, lang last team fight din, namatay agad si Ruruben kasi nakasalo niya yung Chum the Waters as well as napulong siya doon sa Hextech Ultimatum. So he had no choice na lumaban and once the jungler is down, Elder ticking low as well. So most likely, sinecure na lang nito ni Miss Chance and that MCL getting the team fight win and ended that game. 3.
Yeah, and now PUP, now their backs are to the wall. Ito yung sinasabi kong bakit Game 3 yung that sets the stage talaga for, or rather, kung yung Game 1 and 2 is setting the stage, Game 3 is where the climax happens. Kasi yun yung kung saan napupunta yung momentum going into Game 4 here. Now, Warlocks has that match point na putting Pylon Esports with their backs to the wall. How will they deal with the Warlocks?
Yes, so game 1, very smooth win para sa Pylon Esports. Game 2, more parang iffy kasi unlucky, there's some technical issues. But game 3, this is where MCL parang pinrove talaga nila na kaya na talaga namin manalo dito whether kahit walang issue, hindi kami aasa doon and showing their Division A na kung bakit kaya pa nila doon.
And MCL, I do think that even when in group stage, I do think that they had a lot of potential, right? Like they, Domat, whether it's Domat or Nekomimi, I think their supports are, I think also good anchor talaga in keeping them safe. Like I think Pineapple Crep is one of those crucial, medyo sleeper hit siya na carry. You don't really catch him as a standout until he's already wiping out your team because his team is making space for him.
Yeah, so Pylon, it's Pylon Esports, I think they really need to check their game plan again and see kung anong kailangan nilang gawin for coming
into the
next
draft.
game. Yeah, so one thing to note na isang maganda na Pylon Esports is onto the blue side, which means that they will have priority on the first pick, whether it would be the Camille or the Akali. I think most likely they'll be choosing one or the other if mabuksan, which most likely mabubuksan since MCL are auto-banning this Fiora nitong ni Kuya Fall. As well as ito naman tong sa Pylon Esports, in-auto-ban talaga nila yung Garen. So 3 games, Garen and Fiora ayaw talaga pakawalan sa game na to.
Yeah, Blues Garen, hindi naman siya signature champion ni Garen, but I do think it's something that they don't want to deal with. Just to make sure that Kuya Fall can get that carry role going in the Baron lane side. So Akali banned, Fiora banned. If Ziggs gets banned here, once again, open Camille Gragas is I think is very very strong.
Galio as well. Yes, most likely kukunin itong Pylon Esports if ever yan yung Ziggs na mababan. So It will most likely be Camille going to the
Yeah.
MCL side, to Pylon side, and then MCL taking the Gragas, potentially the Gragas Galio. And then more of a switch draft. So let's see kung anong gagawin ng Pylon Esports and to adjust on this coming game.
Yeah. I mean, the thing is that it's also different, no? Kasi Galio isn't really something that Domat picks up. Maybe Stellar can play it. Medyo mas flexible siya in that regard. Pero for the most part, hindi sikat masyado yung Galio sa Warlocks. It did get banned against them yesterday. So maybe we will see it at this point, but we're gonna have to see if they do lock in the Camille here for Pylon Esports.
Yeah, so just waiting on the last ban and then we'll get to the pickings. Most likely they'll try to get to the Camille, and maganda dito sa Camille onto a Pylon Esports, they could flex it into multiple roles, put it on the Baron lane as well as the jungle, and then go from there. More options kumbaga para sa kanila kasi kung mapunta yung Camille dito sa Warlocks, most likely makikita lagi lang natin yan sa jungle rather than a flex pick onto for Pylon Esports. So switching up the game plan. Ayaw na nila, I think ayaw na nila mag Galio Gragas. Dalawang game na nangyari, Galio Gragas did not work out, so they need to switch. They need to change some stuff onto their draft.
Yeah, maybe they need Camille on their side here just to make sure that Kuya Fall is on a champion that he can carry it. Kasi once again, Akali band, Fiora band, Camille na lang yung natitirang consistent performer talaga for Kuya Fall. So Janna is gonna be the priority here. So Janna Wukong, it's okay. Pero this does give up important picks here to Pylon Esports.
Yes, will Pylon choose the Gragas Galio again? No, I think ayaw na nila.
Coming through. Porky, Galio.
They're still getting the Galio though kasi good synergy dito para sa Camille, but I don't think they don't have a high priority on the Gragas kasi dalawang game na siya hindi nag-work. So they'll be scrapping that out, and I think MCL are just going for their comfort picks. Ito yung nagpapanalo namin sa amin. Ito yung lineup na nagpapanalo sa amin for the last 2 games. The Janna, I think 3 games na siya Janna. The Singe as well, 3 games Singe, and the Wukong as well. You know, we won on our own terms. So if it's not broken, why fix it, diba?
Yeah, and I think here Pylon Esports, Kaito or Kid going for the Corki plus the Brom combo. That is something that he usually picks up. I'm just sad to see na parang ayaw niya ng Alistar dito, pero understandable naman, mas gusto nila yung utility ng Brom at this point. And it synergizes quite well. Once again, it's giving a lot of space for Thair here. And once again, Fizz ulit, signature talaga ni Stellar, all the way from LoL PC, yan yung signature niya. And so here, he's gonna be pulling it out. Will they be able to finish off the series with this though?
Yeah, so MCL going for a comfort lineup, kung anong gumana, yun ulit gagamitin. And then dito naman sa Pylon Esports, the Game 1 Corki, very effective. And instead of putting the Galio onto the support, nilagay na lang nila sa mid. So Galio support not working, let's try put it on the mid lane. And then let's combine it with a Olaf and Camille that can engage. And then we have this Brom also, which is very good for our comp. A lot of burst damage and the blocks as well. Pwede niya harangan yung try to harang
Chum the waters, pati yung projectile sa Cathian Rain.
Yes. Yeah. A lot of things that pwedeng gawin dito ng Pylon Esports. So they're going with a slightly different draft with 3 frontline. Actually still going for 4 frontline and 1 ADC, but they're not the Kaisa napunta na naman dito sa Warlocks.
But here the Corki, there is really proficient with that Corki. I mean, he plays Corki Ezreal, pero across the Division P games, talagang Corki yung yung old reliable pick niya. Then he does perform the best on that champion, especially since yung trust niya in Kid or kay Kaito is a lot. Like
120 gold.
It's gonna be.
I think Miss Ward for MCL putting 2 wards into one side is not ideal. So na-punish yung early warding na tong MCL.
Yeah, and that's a free 120 gold, and that could mean the difference between getting an early Triforce here for Thair, depending kung sino nakakuha dun. It's just going to be just a little bit of trading. I think Stellar needs to trade with Yuchi level 1 habang hindi pa siya gaano ka resistant sa damage niya. And here's just going to be the junglers, opposite sides of the map, just trading scuttlers most likely. And then we're just gonna have to see where they allocate their resources. Because I think Fair is okay not getting too much, but I think Kuya Fall is the one that needs all of that ganking attention here coming in from Ruruben.
Yeah, so another is for blue here. You know, my job is just to farm, and then we have here naman sa MCL Warlocks. They just want to get their levels as well, get a level 5, try to out team fight tong sa Pylon Esports. So not much. Another calm. Madalas naman wala naman nangyayari early game sa series ito. All of the first fights are always at the Dragon, and teams just want to play safe and farm.
Yeah, I do want to see a little bit more proactivity because with the mid Galio, this opens up quite a lot. Because obviously Yuchi is always going to outpush Meow when it comes to getting priority by clearing the waves here. Oh, medyo Ruben. Chatwalk. Chatwalk sa mid.
It's too late. Nakuha na yung bot cut. So, nasayang yung ikot niya. Kala niya may makapag-double cut, but MCL securing that bottom cut. So, denying the scut from Olaf.
Big info rin na si Ruben just Chadwalk through mid lane.
True.
Pero not too big. Once again, most of these fights are gonna be on Drake. Pero like I said, like level 5, level 6, I would like to see a little bit more proactivity from Yuchi. Pero here, Miss Chance could go Justice Punch on to the Fizz here. Oh, but it's gonna be a free flash burn pretty much here. With nothing too much burned. Actually, Cyclone was burned there by Miss Chance. Pero that's just gonna go off cooldown very, very soon. Pylon, good. Parang nakita mo yung priority nila para kay Kuya Fall kasi tingnan mo yung wards para sa kanya.
Yes. Alam nila na ace clear na sa Kuya Fall, but from the water is connected to the Galio.
Oh, will actually go for the dive here.
With the ignite, will he fall down? No.
Delix. Medyo
very
Delix.
Close call. Muntik
pero
talaga.
I think, pero Yuchi has to back off here kasi Miss Chance is right around the corner. So good call na hindi niya tinapos yung recall at that point, but this means that Stellar is able to get a little bit of a push there on that mid lane. Nasalo naman ni Ruruben, so no big problem. Just go continue with this ganking, with this routing here. Makikita siya under a ward, but I think we already had the intel on that because he walked over to mid lane. But so far, nothing too big. Pylon with a marginal 1k gold lead. When the Drake spawns, that's really when whether the 700 gold lead is gonna matter at all. So Yuchi here going for that. Oh yeah. At this point, he can just duel Stellar as long as Stellar's not in hunt mode. And Yuchi's not low enough to get assassinated by this Fizz.
So Stellar hindi pa siya nakapag-reset, so getting Fizz low, but you know, both teams mag-reset naman to si Yuchi trying to get his items since Dragon is starting in 5 seconds. All of the members dito ng Pylon Esports as well as Warlocks just need to get their items, and let's see kung anong rotation ang gagawin nitong si Kuya Fall. So Kuya Fall thinking of going top, but dadalawang isip siya kung pupunta ba siya sa top side or pupunta siya sa Dragon. So opting ko for the Dragon, and with the package on to Pylon Esports, most likely I think isa-start ulit nila to.
Man, but kung nakita mo, lahat ng setup to ng Pylon, they did that without MCL making a move. Kasi if you look at the wards, MCL doesn't really have a lot of intel against PUP. So even though na nag-recall na si Fair, na papunta pa lang bot side si Kuya Fall, MCL could have been more proactive there once again. If not, I mean, of course, not take out the Ocean Drake straight up, but reassert control over this. Because right now, PUP is the one with the intel on this Drake. They have the wards, they have the control, no Scuttler Shrine, but once again, because MCL conceded a lot there, they have to give this up to PUP. Or they can try and go for a contest here. This is going to be a 4v4 Heroes entrance onto Kid. It's going to come through. Knock up onto Miss Chance means that the clone will take a lot of damage, but the Fizz Stellar able to get that kill, and now they're just going to crash upon the rest of Pylon Esports. Yuchi is not going to be able to run away, and the next target is going to be Ruruben, but he's able to back off. Double kill going to Pineapple Crep. Once again, he has the free space, the free hit, and that is going to give him that double. Let's take a look at the replay.
Yeah, so inumpisahan ng Pylon Esports ang Dragon, kaso nga lang Miss Chance doing havoc dito sa likod. And even if na nakapag-package to, not enough yung damage, Pylon Esports are able to secure the Dragon, kaso nga lang they lose the team fight with MCL winning. Kaso nga lang in mid lane,
Oh, once another fight here. Undertow is gonna be a lot of damage. Domat trying to sacrifice his life there, but it is going to be him falling down. 2-0 here. Pylon Esports, medyo magandang bawi nila, and that should set up for a very nice Rift Herald here. 1 second on the clock here for the respawn for MCL. Masisimula na ngayon ng PUP, and they're gonna be able to get that very, very fast with this Olaf, unless bilisan talaga ng MCL. Blue is here for the disrupt, but Stellar gonna try and go for it as well. Yes, Stellar is here with the Chum the Waters here. This could be, but they do secure it, but they have to sacrifice huge sheet to take that away. And now, look at that, medyo delikado yung positioning dito ni Fair. He's gonna get caught off guard here. Valkyrie over, pero Playful Trickster means Void Seeker in. Makakapag-dive na rin dito. Nice. Flings back means that there's no safety for the turret there. It's gonna be a 1 for, or rather, Herald for 2 dito. And I do think that Pylon Esports, if they want to make those 2 deaths worth it, they have to make a big play with this Rift Herald.
Yeah, so ang nangyari doon is Ter was going for the first tower na nakuha niya.
Nakuha naman niya
on the top side, so getting that first tower blood. Kaso nga lang, tinrade niya yung buhay niya as well as another player's life. So one thing that's good dito para sa Pylon Esports, even if na down sila 2-5, they're actually up ahead in goal kasi meron na silang tower. They have taken down 2 towers. Meanwhile, MCL, wala pa silang nakukuha ng tower. So, nakukuha ng Pylon Esports ang mga objectives, katulad ng Dragon, Herald, but they're not, lugi naman doon sila sa kills. So, still a very close game for both teams.
Yeah, definitely. And it's just, when it's kind of close here, with a marginal like 2k gold lead, you have to be paying attention to where is it concentrated here. Because Pineapple Crep got like at least 2 of those kills, maybe even get 3 out of 5. And that's accelerating this Kaisa. So here already has the Bork, malapit na rin yung IE na yan after a couple waves. So that acceleration of the game plan here means that Pineapple Crep's gonna get to his items faster. Of course, good thing there because siya yung nakakuha ng solo gold dun sa top sa Dragon Lane, or rather Baron Lane turret. So he's actually keeping in pace with Pineapple Crep, and that's important because once again, this is a battle of the marksmen right now, Pineapple Crep and Fair. So if this gap becomes bigger, that could spell a problem to whoever's marksman is behind.
Yeah, so 2-5. Next Dragon is still kind of far. So ang ginagawa lang naman dito ng mga players is MCL Warlocks is trying to, as you said kanina, fina-funnel nila yung resources onto kay Pineapple Crep, and with the protection of Janna, kaya niya mataas ang damage output if with the shield, the monsoon, and the ardent as well, na malapit na makompletuhan ni Domat. And then dito naman sa Pylon Esports, they're trying to funnel gold onto their 2 carries, which is si Ter, kasi Kuya Fall. Kuya Fall already 2 items, completing the Triforce and the Blade of the Ruined King as well. So we have Dragon spawning shortly, and most likely we'll see again these 2 teams clash dito sa Dragon.
And really with the kind of a 1-3 or 1-2-1 setup here for MCL, that does mean that their waves might are building up on the Dragon Lane. Meanwhile, because PUP has the Camille, has Queafall on the top side, they do have that advantage, just pushing in, threatening that Baron Lane turret as well. If Blue ever gets caught slipping, that say goodbye to that Baron Lane turret. So for now, with no vision on the Drake, neither of these teams will really want to make a hard move onto this Infernal. They just want to keep like I said, keep the pressure on the side lanes going. So they summon the Rift Herald top side. This could be a huge swing that could either threaten MCL off of the Infernal, or if a fight happens on Infernal, that Rift Herald is still marching down. Oh, package already used. Jump the Waters as well. So Scuttle Shrine is going to get secured here, I believe, by MCL there. But they are kind of under duress. They're opening themselves up. A lot of damage from this Infernal. Stellar is just waiting around the wings. No Chum the Waters here. No Chum the Waters, but PUP's taking a lot of damage here. Knock up onto Kid. Heroes Answer is going to have to come in as well. But look at that Stellar with the Infiltrate gets the kill. That is going to be down as well. But MCL, they're tearing them apart. And that is going to be Ruruben once again falling down 4-for-2. They do get the second tier onto top side and leave a dent in that inhibitor turret. But damn, that is a disastrous team fight.
So Pineapple Crep getting very low, pero si Stellar doon assassinating tong si Ter with that fizz pick. Kahit wala kang ulti, mataas niya pa rin burst damage, and very good ulti para kay Domat. trying to reset the health of MCL, and I think Pylon Esports just keep they're overcommitting onto the Dragon. Lagi na lang inumpisan yung Dragon, so namawala yung magandang pwesto nila, and that leaves assassins like tong si Stellar. Kitang-kita niya lahat ng positioning nitong Pylon Esports, very easy flank onto the backline, getting those key kills. So even if nakukuha ng Pylon Esports yung Dragon, natatalo
MCL's
sila sa
getting those
team fight.
kills, yeah.
Yes, na may trade off. So it's like we're trading off kills for Dragon, which is depends on what it is, but I think
they're still ahead in gold.
Yes,
but the thing is, if they keep doing that, they
Outside.
could have been more ahead than they could have been. Kasi kailangan lang naman ang gawin dun is rely on Kuya Paul split pushing. Hindi naman kaya at this point na i-dual ni si Kuya Paul. So kailangan lang nila sayawan. Huwag maging masyadong excited sa sayaw dun sa Drake. Kasi dun sinubukan nila i-start when all they really should have done was dance around it. If they threaten to start it, tas paglapit na MCL, they go out, idle of the run here, and get easy playful tricks are out. Justice Punch gets stopped there, and Kuya Fall eats the chum the water. So that's one big ulti down for MCL. Will Pylon actually use this as an opportunity to threaten Baron? I don't think so. They're just gonna be satisfied with going back, securing the scuttle. They will have vision if MCL tries anything funny. And once again, they can just send Kuya Fall dun sa Dragon Lane, tas ulitin lang nila, sayawan nila yung MCL dun sa Baron, start it, peel off of it, just to make space for Kuya Fall to get that split push down.
Yes, what ang ginagawa ng Pylon Esports kasi masyado na lang pinipilit both sides of the deal. Gusto nila na manalo sa Dragon Fight, gusto rin nila manalo sa top side. So I think what Pylon just needs is to try to stall as long as possible sa 4-man group up nila, and then let Kuya Fall just do his work. Kasi if you look at the gold, 4K gold, at least 3K na lang ang lamang ng Pylon Esports, but the 3K gold lead is all onto the Camille. So
you don't need to commit to this team fight. Okay, kailangan lang nila stop the box.
Yeah, just stop the box, buy time, and ayun yung kailangan gawin ng Pylon Esports. They don't need to force objectives because yung win condition nila kumbaga is on to Kuya Fall.
Right now, even though Thair is like the anchor for this team here when the team fights actually start, it's all about dancing with Kuya Fall to get that setup.
Yes, if
like,
you look at the gold lead, 4K, lahat onto the Camille Singed matchup. So if kung tatanggalin mo yung Camille tsaka Singed, kung i-add mo lang yung gold ng 4, it's actually dead even. Lahat ng gold is onto the Camille, which they need para sa win condition nila.
And if PUP Pylon Esports, kung gagawin nila yung 4v4 na wala si Kuya Paul, essentially wala yung 4K gold lead, diba? So they just need to play around him, and eventually if they keep dancing, MCL might make a move that they'll regret, and that's when PUP can strike. Either they go for inhib or Kuya Fall can go for the TP and get those kills. So they just have to play around him right now.
Dragon spawning into 15 seconds, so Terror's gonna get his package again, and let's see kung anong gagawin ng Pylon Esports dito. Will they start the Dragon yet again? But look at the hindi mo pwesto ni Kuya Fall. Almost at the inhibitor tower already.
Tsaka kalahati na yung HP na yan from the previous waves pushing in. So this is a Cloud Drake. This could be a Drake that MCL is willing to give up just to repel Kuya Fall here, but it seems like the inhibitor Drake is gonna go down already. But the MCL is starting at this point. There, wala pa siya dito. He will have to use the package here if he wants to get in here in time. Hero's Entrance is going to come through for a 3-man knockup. Big Monsoon is going to come through to find themselves some time. That's going to be Pineapple Crep, though, having to kill Insect pabalik, pero he gets pushed out by the winds of war. Pero nakapag-kite naman siya dito. There, though. Yeah, Stellar still up, and there, not able to finish off and clean up these kills. Si Kuya Fall din naka-teleport papasok, but he still goes down. The important thing, though, is inhib. That's natural pressure going onto the Baron lane side.
Yes, if you look at the team fight, so MCL needed to start the Dragon kasi
late na naman
mababasag na yung top. Pero if you look at the positioning of Ter, gets a package in, kaso nga lang wala siya masyadong natamaan onto the backline. And if you look at the Pineapple Crep, grabe yung pag-feel ni Domat dito. Almost hindi nila mapatay. Yes, and
they're forcing this Baron. Yeah, will Ruben actually sacrifice his life for this? He could actually get a couple picks here and there with the Ragnarok, but he is going to be a little bit too late. Chum the Waters is gonna finish him off. So there, okay, MCL, medyo delikado, medyo delix yung ginawa nila doon, but it paid off. They get a bonus kill on top of that. Muntik na silang ma-pick off dito ng Kuya Fall, but at that point, this Baron is gonna help stave off yung pressure, natural pressure dito sa top side. Pero here, Kuya Paul gonna go for the Kaisa at that point, pero mukhang mapapanish siya dito. Pops the GA, gets the Glacial Fissure on top of that Monsoon para makapag-kill, pero hindi makakatakas dito si Kuya Paul. And now it is gonna be 2 members down here for PUP Pylon Esports, and they will have a lot of breathing room at this point.
Yeah, so very strong play dito sa MCL Warlocks, forcing the Baron. Nakita yata nila magre-reset tong Pylon Esports. And so they have the Kaisa pick. Nope, sobrang bilis ang pagkuha nila sa Baron. Hindi nakaabot si Ruruben, medyo nagdalawang isip siya bago silipin yung Baron. Kung kailan nakita na niya yung Baron, wala nang buhay. So MCL getting that Baron, and then tong si Kuya Fall gusto niyang bumawi. So trying to look for key pickups, kaso nga lang wala pa yung team niya. So even though na-force yung Hextech Ultimatum doon kay Pineapple Crep, wala siyang kasama. And tong sa MCL Warlocks, lahat sila magkasama, and they're starting a 1-3-1 push dito onto the base of Pylon Esports.
So it is gonna be teleport to deal with the Wukong here on the Baron lane para lang mabawasan yung damage dito sa turret. But this means that they might actually concede a lot of control here in the mid lane. So those 2 Baron and powered cannon minions are just wailing down on that turret. One more wave should be enough here for MCL to secure this mid lane inner. And at that point, they're gonna come knocking on the inhibitor doors here of PUP Pylon, threatening to finish off the series 3-1. But Pylon Esports, they want to even this out. They want to make it a 2-2. They want so bad to get into Division A and prove that PUP's on the map here. But Kuya Paul is gonna get knocked up by the Cyclone, gets a Hextech Ultimatum, but has to back off immediately. Monsoon go for the healing, and that's gonna be a lot of damage here coming through. Gets the kill though. Pineapple Crab Stellar though. Can he get something? Can he make something happen? Glacial Fissure to try and slow them down. That's a revenge kill here against Mischance. That Glacial Fissure was crucial because that stopped MCL Warlocks in their tracks.
Yes, so MCL Warlocks getting that second tower, getting 1 kill as well. So they have the 1-for-1 trade, but a tower is down in favor of MCL Warlocks. So now they're in the gold leader, in the driver's seat, kumbaga, but it's not over yet kasi hindi naman ganun kataas yung gold lead. 2,000, almost non-negligible yan, and that will be Elder Dragon up as well in 25 seconds. So the most crucial objective as well, most important objective para sa game na to. Elder Mountain pa naman.
And because it's Elder and its effectivity is actually double, that does mean that MCL with this comp, that could be important because that means mas may time si, mas malaki margin of error ni Dom at mag-Monsoon, mas makakapag-survive si Mischance sa si Blue sa frontline, and Pineapple Crep getting that Elder Mountain means that he's a makapag-lifesteal siya pabalik with the Bork, and that just means even more damage coming in.
The Elder is up, but they're posturing onto the Baron, so choosing, mga nag-Elder sila kasi both teams have Dragon stack, so they're able to amplify this Elder Dragon buff kung sino man makakuha, and beneficial for both teams.
But I do think that they might favor the Baron actually kasi matagal itong Elder Mountain. It is the tankiest Elder or the tankiest Drake in the game in general. So they could actually favor the Baron here, but it seems like because they're really playing around Pylon Esports, PUP Pylon Esports is actually playing around the fact that they have natural pressure on top. They're just gonna augment that even further, but Kuya Fall shoving it in. Now they have 2 super minion waves coming through, and Blue will have to deal with that, which means that they can posture aggressively onto the Kuya Fall taking a lot of damage from Pineapple Crep though. Now he's separated from the rest of his team. Kuya Fall has to go in, but only now when the rest of his team is already super low. Cyclone comes through for a 4-man knockup. That is going to be a lot of damage. So Pineapple Crep still alive. He has to be the man to live, but he dies. And it's going to be PUP Pylon Esports. All members still up. Blue and Domat, they're not going to be enough here. The top side, they have to go defend that, and that's the opening PUP Pylon Esports is going for. Will they go for the game man? 30 seconds on the clock. That is more than enough time for Pylon Esports there. The teleport coming means that Hextech Ultimatum means that they can secure this no problem. Gets jumped away their hook shot through the Nexus, buying as much time as they can, but it is going to be a 2-2, and we get a 5th game in this best of 5 series in the Promotionals.
Grabe yung turnaround nitong Pylon Esports onto the last clash talaga. Once na sumama agad tong si Kuya Fall, na-force niya yung killer instinct agad ng Kaisa, which reduced ng protection ability ng MCL Warlocks onto their carry, and they're getting the positioning as well, nakapag-free hit tong si Ter, hindi siya na pasukan itong si Stellar going down. So the two, once namatay itong Kaisa, once namatay itong Fizz, nawala na yung damage output ng MCL Warlocks and Pylon Esports getting a victor, almost na matalo pero na-comeback pa nila kumbaga yung game.
Mhm. Yeah, because that was pretty much, once again, it's a battle of the marksmen, and even though Kuya Fall was basically the guy that's threatening Pineapple Crab, si Fair yung nagdi-DPS, siya yung anchor ng damage ng team nila. So basically, yung ginawa dito ni Fair, yung ginawa ni Pineapple Crab dun sa game 2. So that's actually very, very crucial here. And I think Pineapple Crab performs way better on champions like Corky and Ezreal kasi kung babalik tayo sa 3-1 nila yesterday, the only game that they won was Ezreal. And if we go back to group stage, most of the games where MCL is doing well is kung nasa Corky or Ezreal sila. If they're on Kaisa, they're a little bit more pressured eh. And I think hindi talaga match sa playstyle ng MCL right now yung Kaisa. So I think getting something safe and that can make a lot of space for himself, like Ezra Corky, might be the play here for MCL.
Yeah, so great comeback dito sa Pylon Esports. So hindi sila sumuko talagang in tooth and nail kumbaga yung game na yan. Game changer and 2-2 equalizing the series, getting that game 5. There's no better way to end it in a game 5 for these teams. Kasi kung sino manalo sa next game natin will be either retaining or there will be a new representative dito sa Division A natin.
Yeah, and like I said, both of these organizations, they want to make their mark. I mean, MCL, they've been a mainstay in collegiate esports, diba? Ever since LCL, LPL,
Yes,
they have
na
that
yung
legacy.
slot nila.
Oh, and now it's being threatened. PUP, Pylon Esports, we haven't been really seeing them in like Division A or even before in collegiate esports. So now, they want to make their mark. Gusto nilang ipakita sa lahat ng viewers natin, sa lahat ng ibang organizations, alliance, na they can make it with the big leagues. They can like swing it with the big leagues here. And they are proving it here. So the last game, last chance, do or die, best of one na lang. Basically,
Yes.
ang para sa dalawang teams na to.
Kanina 0-0 na lang, ngayon 2-2 na. Like there's no way once you make a mistake, wala na. There's no going back. So the most crucial game of them all, the game 5. Because the series is now tied 2-2. So wala nang paligoy-ligo. Let's see kung may mga adjustment dito sa bans. Most likely we will be seeing the same bans and picks. Yeah. But the pick priority is on to MCL. So since they're blue sides. So most likely the Camille might
Jana. If that means the Camille will be left open as well. Sino pa ba yung bans dati? That would mean Fiores ban. That would mean that the Akali gets left open.
The Akali, yes. So ibibigay nila yung bolas dito sa Warlocks. Choose your poison. Ano mas gusto nyo, Camille or Akali? So most likely kukunin ng Pylon Esports kung anong matitira since they saw Domat onto the Jana 3 games which in fairness sobrang effective na mga Monsoon niya, resetting the team fights. Napakasulit yung mga heals na ginagawa niya.
And just the fact that the Eye of the Storm, it's a good package. Eye of the Storm, you get shielding, you get bonus AD from it as well. If you add the other support synergy items, you get even more value on that Eye of the Storm as well. That's really something na hindi napapansin kasi shield lang naman, tsaka hindi mo nakikita as a viewer or even as a caster kung ilang AD na dadagdag, kung ilan yung DPS na dadagdag dahil sa Ardent Sensor plus yung natural AD. So here, they go, okay, we prioritize the Camille. Sa inyo na yung Akali. So that means Kuya Falls Akali will be pushing through. May Galio pa sila. So what will Warlocks have?
Wow, 5 games Galio. Pylon Esports. And yun na nga, if you check the series, yung Camille and the Akali, both 100% win rate so far. So this will make or break kung sino ba nga ba ang mas superior na pick dito, either the Camille or the Akali onto these two teams.
Yeah, but still though, it is most likely going to be missed chances Camille. So hindi siya like carry top laner or carry Baron laner versus carry Baron laner. But once again, Pineapple Crab na Kaisa.
So also
they want to prove me wrong. They want to prove me wrong na mas gusto ko talaga si Pineapple Crab pag naka-Ez or Corky siya. But with a Brom, I think that makes his Kaisa a lot better. compared
Yeah.
to the previous supports that we've seen. But let's see.
Yep. So most
So
likely MCL sticking to their guns, chamba lang yun. Let's just run it down again. I
with the
think most likely
Lulu,
they'll end it up with a oh, not going for the Singed anymore. So choosing a Jarvan.
Jarvan.
So it
I
will
mean,
be
they
Camille
have
top.
picked,
Okay.
yeah,
And
or
then
it could
Annie
be Annie, of course,
or
for
Jarvan top.
Stellar. Pero I think MCL has tried Jarvan on Baron lane before. It didn't work. That was the series win. That was the series losing game where they tried Jarvan top. But it's very tough, matchup ng Jarvan top laban
Yes.
sa Akali. They could go for a little bit of a burst kung magkasama si Miss Chan sa si Blue. Pero otherwise, I don't see this Jarvan being able to outlane the Akali here, especially in the hands of Kuya Fall. So medyo delikado, kailangan talaga ng attention ni Miss Chance.
Yeah, so most likely I think gusto gawin ng Warlocks dito. They just want to go for a wombo combo with the Jarvan, Camille, Annie combination.
Oo.
And then they have Pineapple Crab just finishing it up. Doma to the protection as well. Team fights talaga kasi they know. Nananalo naman kami sa team fights. 2 games na nakaraan. We've always won the team fights. Let's just stick to our team fight composition and then hayaan na natin sila sa split push. Akali with a much weaker split push potential dito as compared sa Camille kanina. So which is something good para dito sa Warlocks but very very strong pick pa din ang Akali dito. Hindi pwede mag-snowball yung Akali because they don't have much answers dito sa Akali once na makapag-snowball. Kasi pwede siya makapag-enter sa backline. Pwede niya assassinate itong si Pineapple Crep. So MCL need to choose their target wisely kung sino unahan nila.
Yeah, especially with the champion, with yung, like I said, like yung galang yung sinabi mo, they don't have a lot of answers to the Akali. Their CC doesn't really interact well kung hindi mo makita kung nasan si Kuya Fall. Pineapple Crep compared to like Corki or Ezreal, just kind of like falls apart pag may Twilight Shroud, di ba? So, medyo mahihirapan talaga siya. And that means, hati yung attention dito ni Miss Chance. Kasi Stellar okay lang siya sa mid lane. I mean, he's going to take priority and probably roam. Pero, Pineapple Crep and Blue, they're on opposite sides of the map here. They can't let Kuya Fall snowball, but they want to make Pineapple Crep be ahead. So, these are two win conditions that they have, or laning phase win conditions that they have na medyo in conflict just because of them being on opposite sides of the map.
Yes, so both junglers starting bottom side, so the most likely magkikita ulit sila sa top side. And this will be in favor of Pylon Esports yet again because they have that priority onto the Akali rather than the bot lane. So let's see, mauulit nga ba yung nangyari last game na pag-double scut ng Pylon Esports, or will Warlocks do something about this?
Yeah, and the important thing though is, once again, Yuchi also has the potential to get priority here, but of course Warlocks, Stellar, you have to respect the Stellar Annie's laning as well. So even though it's relatively even in terms of the wave clear, Yuchi might still be able to get the priority here, but what we have to look at here is Kuya Fall. When the scuttle appears, so it seems like hindi ko-contest dito ni Miss Chan.
Hindi na i-contest.
They know talaga na hindi kaya.
They don't have wala talagang priority, especially the top side. So another double scut dito most likely mapupunta sa Pylon Esports. Interesting lang dito kay Stellar with this Annie going for the exhaust rather than the one shot.
Pasok ni Kuya Fall.
So
Exhaust agad.
Kung gamitin niya kay Kuya Fall, which is the most likely target, and alam naman i-exhaust niya yung Galio or the other or Olaf. So Akali the most probable target na exhaust. So both teams farming it up again. So we'll be seeing another clash onto the Dragon. Not much I won't expect na masyadong may mangyayari dito sa early game with both of these teams, especially on a game 5. Ayaw na lang magkamali, just dodge the cheesy strats and let's play to our strengths.
Buy the book and buy their strengths there. And I do think that they have a lot of potential for this. I mean, MCL Warlocks, they can kind of go for these slow burn comps where they let the Kaisa scale up, they let the Camille just farm up. Of course, losing Scuttler to the double scut is going to take down his momentum a peg. But overall, if they're able to survive this, if they don't give PUP a huge advantage after the Drake fight and after the Herald fight, then they can kind of slowly creep up with Stellar, Pineapple Crep, and Miss Chance getting up.
Yes, so level 5 Camille, kaso nga lang spotted under the ward,
Underward.
may tribush, so hindi as much as possible, as much as na gusto siya mag-hook shot ulti, it will not be possible.
Siya itong
PUP
Telegram.
Esports, nakita nila, naamoy nila, so they'll just be playing safe. 3 minutes into the clock, both teams just farming up, and most likely mag-reset ulit sila bago magka-dragon.
Yeah, 40 seconds, 35 seconds on the clock there until the first Drake spawns, and we have not been getting like first in Drake Infernal. It's always been like Mountain. It's always
Yes.
been Mountain or Cloud, which means that these Drake fights are usually less explosive because a lot of teams put less priority. Like hindi sila kasing desperado makuha yung unang Drake kung hindi siya Infernal. Yung napapansin ko sa collegiate teams natin, and still though, the Herald is going to be, that could mean the Herald yung tunay na momentum shift sa unang part ng game.
But it's still, kahit Mountain Dragon siya, it still forces a reaction from both teams.
Oh.
Both teams would want to fight there and try to get the, parang start ng momentum kumbaga ng Dragon. Parang, pag nanalo kayo dito sa team fight, buelo agad yan para sa team. Momentum is going on to your team.
Diretso Herald na rin yun.
Yes, diretso Herald na rin. So let's see kung anong setup ng team sa to. For the past 2 games, I think even the whole series, Pylon has always been starting this Dragon. So, let's see.
For better or for worse.
Yes. So, both teams. So, wala na nagsa-split push. So, Kuya Fall, not onto the split push champion. So, choosing to go with his team. Kaso nga lang, wala yata mangyayari. So, you will opt. Then, kumuha lang siya ng foot. So, they're still gonna try to force.
Wave topside for PUP, not really robust. Hindi naman siya threatening para sa topside, but of course it's slowly building up. That is that's a little bit of pressure that I think Warlocks is okay with conceding to PUP right now. But yeah, they're taking a lot of damage here. Safe Asken rin dito para dito kay Ruruben. So pagpasok niya ng Ragnarok, dead sagad siguro to. So that's gonna be the package here with a V motion. But it's gonna be Blue jumping in. Papalikod dito yung Pineapple Trap. He's crazy! He gets exhausted! And he's gonna have to retreat back to the safety of his team. Going very, very low. Has to jump away from Stellar. They do take down Stellar though. And miss chance. Will he miss his chance once again? He's gonna get polymorph. He gets taken down. That is an ace here for the PUP Pylon Esports squad. And that is gonna be a disaster.
It was a good initiation para sa MCL Warlocks, but a very, very brave ulti dito para kay Mr. Pineapple Crepe. Ulting it sa backline na walang backup. So, nawala ng bawas agad tong MCL Warlocks. Nakita ng Pylon, uy, may kaisa dito sa likod, mag-isa lang. So, let's pinunish nila. And nadamay na rin yung buong team nila. So, Pylon Esports not only getting the Dragon, getting that clean 5-4-0 ace para sa team nila.
Oh man, like I said, huge momentum swing already. And that's going to set up for the Herald with Leandris completed for Kuya Foltas. Oh my god. So, already getting that Oblivion Orb. Kung titignan natin, once he finishes Infinity Orb, that's going to be huge damage there. And that could mean na MCL Warlocks does not have the space. Another team fight coming. Rocket Bus not gonna get his, but it's gonna be a charm.
Grabe yung confidence nila dito.
Coming through. Yeah, 2 kills for nothing. Plus, that's of course going to be the Rift Herald. Mukhang hindi naman makakontest. Well, nandito si Miss Chance, pero chachansain talaga nila tong Rift Herald na to when they're 8k gold behind. I don't think so. They're gonna have to give that, which means Pylon Esports can go for another huge swing here with the Rift Herald.
Yes, getting the 2 first key objectives dito, they even got the first tower sa both sides, so they get first tower, first dragon, even first herald. And if you look at the gold, napakayaman lahat ng members ng Pylon Esports on, lahat sila 6k, yung pinakamayaman dito sa MCL Warlocks 4.6k pa lang. And if you look at the gold ng Jarvan, is not having the greatest time.
Wow.
Mas mayaman pa nga yung support niya with 3.2k. Parang support Jarvan yung nangyari. And his counterpart, yung Akali, double his gold right now.
Yeah, wow. That's really what I was thinking. Like MCL, they pick up these unorthodox picks, right? Sometimes they pick up the Renekton mid, which doesn't work. The Fizz works in very specific circumstances, like yung nakita natin dito. And of course, that's Stellar's very comfortable signature. But the Jarvan on blue, hindi ko talaga, like ever since yesterday, parang sinusubukan ko isipin, okay, baka ito yung plano nila. Pero it never comes through, and this Jarvan just falls flat.
Yes, Jarvan, the exotic last pick Jarvan, not working so far in this game, heavily behind on the counterpart. If you look at the items of Mr. Kuya Fall, meron na siyang Infinity Orb as
Infinity
well
Orb.
as the Liandry as well. And this Olaf has the Cleaver and here
Oh
we
man,
have
they
Kuya
can
Fall.
get Kuya Fall though. He is in the Twilight Surge. Pwede pa siya makatakas dito. Has to flash over with
Yan
the
lang.
perfect execution para lang makatakas. And this means MCL Warlocks, they didn't expect anything too big there. So, makakapag-disengage sila, PUP can't just walk over them. If they had spent more ultis dun para kay Kuya Fall, baka trigger yun para makapasok yung Pylon. And yun nga, hindi sila pumasok dahil may bot lane, may dragon lane push dito si Yuchi. The very low-key split push dito. So magwa 1v1 muna with the great one itong si Yuchi, pero mukhang i-ignore lang siya. Chadwalk palayo kay Pineapple Crep. They do get a lot of damage onto the second tier on the dragon lane, and they do get outer mid lane, which is huge. Opens up the map, and that is going to be quite even more gold, and more importantly, map control here. So makakapaglagay sila ng wards dito sa top side, blue side ng MCL Warlocks, and they're gonna be setting up for this Ocean Pick.
Yes, Ocean Dragon will be spawning in 10 seconds most likely kung ang MCL Warlocks just give it up. Try to get some gold back, to get some towers, which they're doing. Kaso nga lang, kitang-kita sila sa ward na willing sila mag-trade. So ang ginawa ng Pylon Esports dito, naglagay isang Herald sa mid to try to get the tower. Kaso nga lang, di nila sinuportan yung Herald. So they're just opting for the Dragon and the trade.
Pero I don't, yeah, Stellar can't really walk up to deal with the Herald. So medyo late escort lang, medyo na late yung grab ni
There,
ni Herald dito, and they're
with the package, blocking the escape with Stellar with no flash.
Stellar's gonna go down here for sure. Musitibers is just gonna go down very, very easily here. And now, Pineapple Crab, pero ba siyang magagawa dito? Medyo delikado yung positioning dito. Very easy. In range yun dun para sa Polymorph, ha? So that's going to be this Braum falling back as well. Mischance taking a lot of damage here. And that's gonna be one more. Not quite enough for the platings, pero still, that's gonna be PUP Pylon Esports 13k gold ahead, making full use of the momentum swing that they got in their favor from the Drake fight.
Yeah, so Pylon Espor, I think this is the biggest gold lead we've seen so far sa series. 13k in 10 minutes, so very comfortable position para sa Pylon Esports right now. But let's see kung anong gagawin mong MCL Warlock. So they need to try to get those skills and try to get some shutdowns, especially kay Kuya Fall, and try to get Pineapple Crep the gold that he needs para makabawi.
It's really hard eh. Kaisa, when behind, doesn't really have a lot of punch. Kasi you have to be within short range. Kaisa, one of the shortest range marksmen in the meta. Actually, the shortest marksman in the meta,
Mm-hmm.
And that just makes it harder when you're 13k gold behind. Especially kung ikaw lang yung main source of damage mo. Yes, Mischance has the Triforce, pero laban sa utility na binibigay ni Kid with the shielding, it's gonna be a lot. It's gonna take a lot for them to go through. But of course, yet there has the hero's entrance as well to back him up. No, papasok na dito. Shinobi strikes coming in from Kuya Fall. No finishing blows just yet. But they are pushing MCL off. And that means that they have full control. They have isolated this pawn here, this tower. And isolated pawn islands are never good. That means MCL has to give up defense over that Baron Lane tower, which means they get even more gold. 17k gold ahead now. They can posture aggressively for this Baron, and then they can start knocking on the inhibitor turrets. I mean, this is just hell for the Warlocks right now.
Yeah, so even if Camille gets a good Hextech ult, flashing in by
very nice Tivers for the stun though. Can they finish up the kills is the question. No, it's gonna be Ter taking back one. They don't have enough damage. They trade back against Yuchi. A lot of members from Pylon are down, or rather very, very low in HP. I think it is a 1-for-1, but the most important thing is it stops the Baron for like 30 seconds.
Yeah, so sayang lang wala dun si Pineapple Trap to try to get more kills. It was a 4v5, but very nice try dito para kay Stellar. Flashing in, getting a 4-man stun onto the members dito ng Pylon Esports. At least ay nakuha silang kill, so that's a sign na at least, we have something on the board. We have something working well para sa atin. And we have to see in the next few minutes kung anong gagawin ng Pylon
It's actually their first kill.
Yeah,
this game. Oh my god.
Game. So, MCL Warlocks need to do more similar team fights katulad na nangyari kanina. But I don't we have to check if it's too late or if it's still possible to make a comeback.
I think, pero even then, I mean, yes, that was really good by Stellar, but I think that was one of the very few times na yung PUP, they set themselves up in a way na kaya silang ma 3-man stun or 4-man stun nung Tibbers. I think even before, they were positioning around it na hindi sila mahuli ng isang buong Tibbers, hindi sila mahuli ng CC dito ng MCL Warlocks. And here, they're gonna be able to get this Infernal. Perhaps Miss Chance can try and disrupt it. He doesn't have Smite right now, and this Infernal Drake is going to go down very, very fast to Kaisa.
So, MCL Warlocks trying to set up another wombo combo. Kaso nga lang, Pylon Esports are prepared, especially with this Dragon up.
Miss Chance jumping over a little bit too early, though. Means he cannot steal. He has to go for the Zhonya's, but that is going to be him.
Kuya Paul is down.
Kuya Paul is down, but there's the next anchor to this operation here. If they can at least defend this Corki, that they'll be able to get this. Oh, that's a good Isle of the Run with the Rocket Belt as well, giving the space for this Corki to get up these kills. Double kill coming through. Exhaust means that Final Crep is defenseless. Triple Ghost is there here, and last chance here for Tomas to make a play. Can he make something happen? No, it's just going to be with a big one hitting him in the face. With the rest of PUP Pylon Esports just going straight for this mid lane inhib, can go for the end with 10 seconds, 7 seconds on the clock for Miss Chance, 10 on Stellar. Can they go for the Nexus? It's still full HP.
Bibili yata sila ng TP and try to end the game. Yes, sir. Ayan
they're going to go for it as well. They might not even need a core. Just needs the Brusco duo of the Galio and the Olaf to go for the Nexus, and that is going to be MCL just being cut short here by the true winners of the series, Pylon Esports, PUP. They secure a slot in Division A for next split, and that means they'll be joining PLM Haribons, ADMU LG, and West Visayas State University VS Esports as the new representatives or new entries into Division A.
Congratulations to Pylon Esports, PUP, for proving themselves. Grabe yung last game, was sobrang one-sided and statement game for Pylon Esports na dapat kami talaga ngayon nasa Division A, showing their prowess in their skills. So shout out to Kuya Fall with a great Akali performance, tsaka kay Ter with a solid Corki performance as well with their teams. So congratulations Pylon Esports, you get a slot into Division A.
And that's a huge statement there, because I think PUP has been looking for an in to make a mark in collegiate esports in AcadArena. And here, they get another chance here in UAC Wild Rift with Pylon Esports. So that journey, I wasn't able to watch any replays or VODs of their Division B journey, but I looked at the stats and they are very consistent winners in that Division B. So I'm very excited to see what they have to offer for Division A in the next split. But of course, good try for MCL. They made it to Game 5. They made Pylon Esports fight for it.
Yes, MCL one clash away nung Game 4, just trying to retain that spot, but not able to get it, and Pylon Esports just going through that momentum, having a blowout game in Game 5, getting that Game 5 win, and yun lang. For MCL, they did their best. They had, good place on their team also. Kaso nga lang, yung picks nilang Game 5 just didn't work out as well.
Talaga yung Jarvan top. Hindi siya gumana yesterday, but that's in the past now. I hope that I can see more from MCL in the future. Maybe babalik sila sa next promotionals natin in the next split. So we'll just have to see. And of course, all of these teams that are facing off here are part of organizations, collegiate organizations for esports here, part of the Alliance program as well. So if you want to check out, if you want Alliance, or if you want to join the Alliance so that your collegiate organization gets these benefits like exclusive tournaments like UAC, as well as event support. You'll even get scholarship access with the Globe Esports Merit Scholarship. You get mentorship as well with event organizing and whatnot. So just check out acadarena.com/alliance. And of course, this wouldn't be a possible thing without UAC 2020, without the Globe Telecom, ASUS ROG Phone 5, Logitech G, Riot Games, and Twitch Student. And we talked a little bit about ASUS ROG's Phone 5 earlier. with the whole shebang, like with the Qualcomm Snapdragon 888 and whatnot. But of course, you have to pair that with some Logitech G gear. If you're looking to supercharge your gaming setup so you can hashtag keep playing, check out Logitech's amazing gaming gear at logitech.acadarena.com. So meron kayong 175 peso discount for a minimum of 1,750 peso purchase on any Logitech G product. So, well, that was crazy. Crazy.
Yes.
Unfortunate that FU Apex Hamraos had to forfeit, but that's just how it goes. And West Visayas, that means West Visayas gets a chance to make their mark here in UAC.
Yes, congratulations to all the teams na nakapasok doon sa Division A as well as yung mga teams na nakapag-retain. And ayun, so
we'll be seeing you guys.
We'll see you. Hope to see you in the next season as well sa Division A. And tignan natin yung mga improvements na itong teams and all of these teams deserve as well to be in the Division A.
Yeah, of course. And we have been your shoutcasters for that. I'm Hiron. With me was Rebenga, and we'll be seeing you next time for UAC in the next split.